All right.
We sure you ain't lying.
You on?
Nope. Yep, we on. Yeah, no, check it.
Shalom, we out here once again. Praise Yahweh Shem outside by some Kadash. We're gonna get right into it. Anybody got anything to say? Topics, anything?
No.
Okay, well, if that's not the case, there you go. I want to go into Shem, Semitic.
Yes, sir.
I want to hit on that a little bit, you know. Somebody, give me the Bible dictionary, Xander. Yeah. Go to Shem. We always go to Ham. Let's go to Shem. As soon as you get it, read it. Shem.
That's it.
I like a big sign.
Yeah, come.
That's all right. Go ahead and read it. Got the sign out there. Reason why we carry the sign.
That's right.
That's it.
Gotta focus on that sign, Mike. Read the scripts on that. What having that sign out there, man. All right, go ahead.
Shem, second son of Noah and progenitor of the Semitic race, was born 98 years before the flood, Genesis 11, verse 10, and lived 600 years, outliving his descendants for 9 generations, excepting Eber and Abraham.
Yeah, so those are people of Semitic race.
That's all.
Come. And you have 5 sons. Shem had 5 sons.
Yeah. Let's read the 5 sons. Give me that in Genesis 10. Go right to it.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 22. The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram.
Yeah, so read it again. Read the sons again.
This is Genesis 10 and 22. The children of Shem, Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram.
He's saying it wrong, so it's going to make me say it wrong.
Arphaxad is lucky.
Read it one more time.
All right.
I'm trying to embarrass you, brother. Read it one more time.
Dyslexic.
The children of Shem, Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram.
Lud and Aram. Read it one more time, please.
Yeah.
The children of Shem, Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad.
Elam, they got to deal with Elam. Let's deal with Elam. Because
God.
Elamites are Shemites, right?
That's right.
So let's go to Elam. Let's look up Elam in the Bible dictionary.
Gotcha.
These people don't know. They don't know.
Got to be
They don't
taught.
know. People don't know. You ask them, where did all these people come from? You see East Indian people with turbans on their head. You got Americanized East Indian people. You got Arabs. You got Chinese people. You got Japanese people. You got so-called black people. You got so-called white people. Then among the white people, you got different ethnic groups of white people, so-called white people. So where did they come from? They don't know because they don't understand the scriptures.
Come.
Go ahead, read that.
Elam, a son of Shem.
A son of Shem. And that shows you that Esau knows, man. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 22. And then to give you a couple other scriptures. It says, a son of Shashak. It says what? A son of Meshelemiah, ancestor of family of 1,254 members, which returned from exile under Zerubbabel. I guess it's different people called Elam. It says another forefather of a returned family with the same number of members. The father of 2 sons who returned from exile with Ezra, an ancestor of a man who married a foreign woman. Evidently, this ancestor was either number 4, 5, or 6. Chief who sealed the covenant with Nehemiah. priests who took part in the dedication of the wall.
Yeah, well, I'm giving you the name of the man, Elam.
Right.
We're talking about, let's see if you can find the word Elamite.
No Elamite.
Well, Elam, that's where you get the Elamite.
They have Elam, the country.
Okay, yeah, go
It
to that.
says Elam, a country situated on the east side of the Tigris River, opposite Babylonia. Its population was made up of a variety of tribes. Elam was one of the earliest civilizations. Elam was one of the nations forced to drink the cup of the Most High's wrath. And
Well, that shows you that the Most High is going to, is there a scripture there that says Jeremiah 49?
25, verse 25.
Okay, good. Okay, Jeremiah 25.
Yeah,
right.
and Jeremiah
So that's a
49,
whole list of all the nations, man. When you read
chapter 25, verse
Mhm,
25.
mhm.
It's a lot. And
So-
Jeremiah 49, verse 34 to verse 39.
Go to that. Jeremiah 49, verse what?
34.
Go ahead. Go ahead and read it.
So Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 34. The word of the Lord Yahweh that came to Jeremiah the prophet against Elam in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, saying, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, Behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the chief of their might, and upon Elam will I bring the four winds from the four quarters of the heaven, and will scatter them toward all those winds, and there shall be no nation whither outcasts of Elam shall not come. I will cause Elam to be dismayed before their enemies, and before them that seek their life.
So when you go to that history, that's what happened. Elam with the Persians, man. And they're back in power, which are being called the people of Iran.
Con.
The people of Iran are Persians, which are Elamites. Now, somebody go to the blue letter and put in the word India. It tells you about the 127 provinces of
Got it.
Elam, and it
Right.
mentions India and Elam in the same sentence.
Okay.
So that's how we know that the Elamites are the Indians, the East Indians, as we call it, the Pakistanis, the people of Iran.
Should be Esther chapter 1.
Yeah,
I believe
fine.
Afghanistan, I believe some of them are Elamites too. See, what
Yeah.
you got to understand, when you go to the Middle East, you got a lot of Arab people, which Esau labeled them. You had Ishmaelites, you had Elamites, which he labeled all those Midianites, which he gave them a blanket label. You know, he painted with a wide brush and called them Arabs. And the word Arab simply means there's no such nation as Arabs. Oh, those are the Arabs. No, the Arabs mean mixed. Arab, it's from the Hebrew word Arab, which means mixed. The twilight or the break of dawn, that's a mixture of the light and night and day. So you call it Arab, you know? Yeah, you know, you got it? You got it? Go ahead.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus, this Ahasuerus which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia.
Oh, by the way, Ahasuerus is also known as
Xerxes.
Xerxes. This is the guy, so you can understand, in the movie 300, the big tall guy that had all that jewelry on him that fought against Leonidas and tried to get him to come, because he made Greeks sell out. So he tried to get King Leonidas to sell out, and he didn't sell out, you know. And ultimately he got killed along with his men
Con.
because he didn't want to sell out. So that's that guy. So that shows you, man, Esau make these movies. Now Jake can't make those period pieces.
No.
Jake can't make them ancient movies because Jake don't have discipline, number one. They don't know the history. See, Esau knows the history, man. That's why they can make a movie about the Elamites. You know, they can make a movie about Alexander the Greek and get everything right and make it look like they're really back there. Jake don't have that knowledge, man. And what does it say in, what is that, Ezekiel 20, was that 28?
Yep.
It says, thou art wiser than Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel was a wise man.
Con.
But he said that Esau is wiser than him.
Con.
If they make a movie, it's going to look like somebody jumped into a time machine and started filming, man. They'll even get certain languages down pat, man. There's certain movies that they make and they'll use the original language, man.
Yeah. Oh, the Passion of the Christ.
The Passion of the right, the Passion, right? They had Hebrew and Latin.
Latin, yep.
Yep. There was no English in that movie. You had to read the subtitles. And so Mel Gibson did his research, you know?
I would
The
have
only
loved
thing he went off on was that he had a so-called white man that looked like Jesus. You know, and they know that the Lord is black.
Yeah.
When you're making a movie, you're doing research, you got your historians, your scholars, they're going to come across the fact that this guy was actually a so-called black man.
Yep.
You know?
You got to keep that white supremacy.
You got to keep that, it's number white supremacy, which is number racism. That's all it is.
Racist ass.
and yeah, that
Racist ass Edomites. And they're racist. They got some fucking nerve, man, getting on us. You're racist, man, and you're culture vultures.
Yeah.
You know that movie, Jesus Christ Superstar.
Jesus. When you said that, brother, that's what I thought of, man. He made Jesus Christ famous again.
Jesus
Christ. He made Jesus Christ great again.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He was getting down.
Takes off and flies into the sky.
Yeah. Hey, but it said like in that movie that all the apostles and even the Lord was portrayed as white, but the one that was black was Judas Iscariot.
Yeah, look at that.
Well, that's the devil for you. That's the devil for you, man.
They made him a Jake, you know.
That's the devil for you, man. That's the devil for you. That's what the devil does, man.
I would have loved to see that movie. Was it the Maccabees that he was supposed to? Mel Gibson was supposed to make. Racist ass Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah.
He was supposed to make the Maccabees.
I don't know if they're gonna make that movie.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
Make that movie. They don't have time to make that movie.
They blacklisted him.
Because he would have to get so-called black people.
Yep.
Come on, the truth is out there, man. You just spend millions and billions of dollars hiding the truth.
Yep.
And that's why you're mad at us.
Yep.
You know?
Out of fact.
All right, go ahead.
This is Luke chapter 12, verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known.
Yeah, so the truth is coming out. You know?
I got a quick one. Isaiah 25:7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Yeah, give me I believe that's Isaiah 61:1.
Got it?
Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1.
Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord Yahweh is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And
the D is talking about Israelites, not every nation. Go ahead.
And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thine eyes round about, and see, all they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side.
Then, that's the kingdom. That's when the kingdom comes. And the kingdom is going to be on earth. You know? Go ahead.
Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged. Because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The Dromedians of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall shew forth the praises of the Lord Yahweh.
That means they're gonna be taught of the Lord. They're gonna be taught of the Lord. Man. Go ahead.
Verse 7. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of
the flocks of Kedar. When you look up the word Kedar, that's one of the sons of Ishmael. Go ahead.
The rams of Nebaioth shall.
That's another one of the sons of Ishmael. Because Ishmael had 12 sons, which were princes, man. And the Most High blessed Ishmael too. Most High told Abraham, I'm going to bless Ishmael.
When his
But
son,
the chosen is going to come from Isaac.
God. And one of his sons was named Qadar, which is dark skin.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yep.
Hey, because the gig is up, man. All the people back then from the beginning were all dark skinned
Yeah,
people.
the son Qadar, Qadar. When you got to understand that the Arabs, the Ishmaelites are speaking Hebrew.
God.
And that's how this guy, Ben Yehudi, really got the Hebrew back because he followed the so-called the Arabs, which are the Ishmaelites, the Arabs. And he said that. He said basically he said that the Ishmaelites or the Arabs were speaking Hebrew, and that's how we're gonna get the Hebrew back. Because it wasn't a spoken language among the Edomites. When you do the research on it, tell you that. He gave you all this other nonsense, but really they followed the, like for example, the Arabs, they'll say, or the Ishmaelites or the Arabs, they'll say, for father, they'll say what? They'll say Abu,
Boo, yep. Boo.
right? We say Abba. When they call on God, they call on Allah.
Allah, yeah.
Which we can call on Allah. Allah just means God. It just means power. When the Lord was on the cross, he said, Allah ya, which in Hebrew is my God, you know?
God.
And Christians don't understand that. That one of the names of the Most High is Allah. You go into a church, a Christian church, and call on the name of Allah, they're going to kick you out the church, man. Because they don't know. The Lord also called him, and even the Apostle Paul referred to the Heavenly Father as Abba, which means father. In the Arabic is Abu. Bun means son of. In Arabic is Ibn.
Reading on,
Go ahead.
verse 7. The rams of Nebaioth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory.
Who's the house of the Most High's glory? The Israelites. So when did that happen? When did this
Prophecy.
happen in Isaiah? When did Isaiah the 60th chapter take place? It hasn't taken place.
That's right.
It never took place. It hasn't taken place as of yet. Go ahead.
Right. It says, who are these then? It's like, who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves of their widows?
To the window. That's talking about them ships. Because we're going to be delivered. We're going to be delivered out of here, Babylon the Great. We're going to be beamed up in these ships, and then we're going to see the destruction pursuant to Psalms 91. And we're going to come back down to earth. That's New Jerusalem in Revelation, the 21st chapter. It says, matter of fact, get that. New Jerusalem, Revelation 21.
Yeah, I got a precept for you too.
Okay, good. Bring it out now.
Dealing with the ships. This is 1 Thessalonians, the 4th chapter, beginning at the 15th verse. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from
What does it
heaven.
mean by being asleep? Explain that.
Yeah, those that had died in the faith, died in the truth.
Those that are dead, because they're sleeping.
They're
When
sleeping.
you sleep, you eventually wake back up. Right?
That's it.
You either wake up in a new body, or that old body is brought back together and you come up. There's a scripture where it says when the Lord raised, he said the saints came out. Get that if
The
you
graves,
can.
con.
Get that.
I think it's Matthew 26.
The saints,
was
meaning
right
the
after Yahweh
Israelites,
said,
came out of the graves and they walked back into the city.
Yeah, that little girl that died, Yahushua told the people in the house, he said, look, the little girl is just sleeping.
Yeah, yeah.
And they laughed him to scorn.
Because technically they are sleeping, but it's this separation. It's Esau makes these movies going out of space. What do they call them? They put you to sleep.
Catatonic?
No, it's a term for it, man.
Oh.
What the hell are they call it? Huh? No. They put you to sleep.
Like a cryo, something.
Yeah, but
Cryogenic?
I think
hibernation, I believe it is. It's called. They did it that with that movie with that chick that there was in outer space and everybody died except for the dude, and he woke up the chick.
Oh yeah. That was I forgot the name of that flick.
Yeah, it was a good. We saw it.
Yeah, it just came out not too long ago.
Well, no, that came out a while back. Okay, but what is it called? Yeah.
The
No.
one with the one with that
They put you
Edomite
to
actor.
sleep. So if you had to go to space and it takes you 5 years to get there, they put you to sleep until you get to that planet. I forget the damn term. We'll come
they
back
got
to
something
that.
called cryo.
No, that's not it. That's when the
That's when they
actual dead body.
Yeah. Damn.
The name is right on the tip of my tongue.
It's like almost like hibernation, but
It's a form of
Yeah,
hibernation. Well, that's what hibernation is. You sleeping. Bears hibernate. They go to sleep. There's certain animals that can slow their heart down to like they're dead, and then all of a sudden they come up.
that's something.
You know?
Yeah, I
Just
think
be able to
bears do
sleep
that.
for months. But I got that, Apostle Tar. I'm sorry.
No, you got it.
Matthew 27:50. Yahushua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the spirit. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent, and the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose, and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city, and appeared unto many.
So you know your auntie might have died, your mother might have died, and you ain't seen your mother's dead and gone, or your uncle or whatever, your best friend, and then you see him coming out of the graves,
Yep.
walking. You know,
You talking about the film Passengers with the woman?
I guess that's it.
Yeah, that came out in 2016.
There's something called therapeutic hypothermia.
There's another term for it. There's another term for it.
I'll finish back in 1 Thessalonians
Yeah,
4,
go ahead.
4 and 16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the heavenly Father. And the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. That backs up what the 15th verse
And
said.
if I may say this, Apostle, like back
Yeah.
then, that was the big thing. The big teaching was about the resurrection. And you had men back then that were teaching against the resurrection. And that's why the Apostle Paul cursed them out. You know, put curses on them because they were teaching against the
Was
resurrection.
it the Sadducees that was teaching against it?
I
I believe it was
yeah.
the Sadducees.
Yeah, I think they were the ones that
Look
didn't
it up.
believe
Look it up. You don't
Yeah,
gotta
you-
question it and think about it.
You
Just
looking
look
it up, Elder Sakaran?
I'm looking it up.
It's Tommy Sotomayor always say, look it up, nigga.
Because
Yeah.
I know enough.
That's
First
what he
Corinthians, the 15th chapter, the Apostle Paul was speaking about that. About these two individuals that were overthrowing the faith of certain Israelites back then because of the resurrection. They said that they didn't. What body would they rise? You know, and that's why I say you bunch of fools. You don't know what was going to rise from when you plant a seed
Well,
in the
maybe
earth.
Paul was going off.
Oh
You know,
man,
according to some
yeah, he was
high
contradicted.
priestess.
High priestess.
High priestess. He's probably going off. Anyway, resurrection. What does resurrection mean? Resurrection means resurrect, to stand up again,
Thing rise.
to thing rise,
Thing rise,
resurrect,
Res,
thing rise.
thing, yep.
So there could be a body that died, like the saints that came to the city.
Okay.
They wasn't reincarnated. Those bodies were put back together because they decomposed.
Yep.
They were put back together, and the spirit opened up where they can push the sepulcher, and they just got up. And they,
Yeah.
you know, they were there. I'm
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
What's up? You know.
Yeah.
That's heavy, man.
And see, Esau knows that, man.
You know,
That's why Esau's demonizing us. Because he knows everything that's in the scriptures is going to come to pass because they came to pass back in the day. Give me Isaiah, what is that? Isaiah 40, what is that? Isaiah 42 and 9, I believe it is. Isaiah 42 and 9.
Got it.
And then go to Isaiah 46 and 10.
Yeah, and then
It's all about prophecy.
like Yahushua, he raised Lazarus from the dead when he was already 4 days in the grave. He was already decomposing, and he raised them up. That was like a sign of the resurrection, you know.
Yeah, because in 3 days, rigor mortis set in, and then in the 4th day, it starts to decompose. And so he actually had to, the body was already decomposing,
Yep.
so the Lord had to use his spirit to bring that, and that's power. And that's what Esau afraid of, man.
That raw power.
And there's this, I'll show you the video later at the crib of this high-ranking Edomite officer that I think they fired him or whatever, they took away his pension because he came out and made a statement that they have a device where you go anywhere inside of an hour. He didn't say anywhere on the planet, he said anywhere. They have like a device. If you want to go from here to Moscow, you can be there in less than an hour. If you want to go from here to the moon, now I don't know how true that is, but when he came out and said it, they messed him up for it, man.
Probably working on it.
So Esau has some technology. Where do you get the technology from? He got it from the Most High. Everything the fact that we're using cameras and smartphones and shit, you can do live feeds and all that. You can do a whole bunch of things with your smartphone. Who you think gave it to Esau?
The Most High gave it to
The
him.
Most High.
Yeah.
This ain't nothing but the Urim and the Thummim all over again.
Oh, well, I got scripture for you. John 3:27.
Yeah, Pastor, you're right. That was Sadducees.
Okay, yeah, I knew that. There's a difference between the Pharisees and the Sadducees. The Pharisees were more religious. The Sadducees were more like
Political.
they were like political.
Yeah.
Technical.
Wow.
Go ahead.
John 3:27. John answered and said, "A man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven."
That's it.
So that's
beautiful.
Esau.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
I got something
It says in Daniel 12, what around about the 3rd or 4th verse,
Knowledge shall be increased.
as knowledge shall be increased. So who's going to increase the knowledge of
Heavenly
Esau?
Father.
The Most High.
That's right.
All this technology came from the Most High, man. You ain't figured shit out, man.
I got something.
The Most High created you, fool.
The Most High created you, fool.
Wisdom of Solomon. I got something else. Go ahead, brother. You got it.
This is James chapter 1, verse 17. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and cometh down from the Father of lights,
There it is.
with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning.
Got another one. The book of Wisdom of Solomon 6:1. It says, "Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. Give ear ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations. For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels." That's pretty direct, pretty straightforward. The power that Esau has is the power. Most High gave him that power.
Yep.
You know.
The Most High created you, fool.
You got a precept.
It's in Psalm chapter 75, verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another.
He put it down one and set us up another. You know?
Oh, there's a little more. This is kind of bad. It says, "Because being ministers of his kingdom, you have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of the heavenly Father. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places."
Yeah, Esau's in high place.
So Esau, you're in trouble, man.
Yeah,
Trouble, Jack.
Esau's in a high place. Esau's in the power seat, man. And they don't want to acknowledge. See, to show you that they know, they don't want to acknowledge that they're Edomites. But they want to say who the Jews are. If you know that who the Jews are, who this is, that is, you got to know who the Edomites are.
Yeah, who you
You
are.
got to know who the Edomites are. It says, you wise, like I said, I quoted, you thou art wiser than Daniel, man.
Let's see if I can get it.
Ezekiel 28, get that anyway. Thou art wiser than Daniel. So they
Can't.
check out every goddamn thing, man. They don't just say, well, no, we're not gonna go into that. They check out every goddamn thing. They do studies every day. As we speaking right now, they're doing studies, man.
I got a quick piece of
Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes 9:11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill. But time and chance happeneth to them all.
Yeah, so this is Esau's time. And what proves that, they got a movie out called The Current War. I mean, I didn't see it. I should have saw it, but if it's, if I catch it on cable or whatever, I'm gonna watch it. It was dealing with a Nikola Tesla and what's the other guy? Nikola Tesla and Alexander Graham Bell, and I believe there was another one. You know what? Somebody go to Google and put in The Current War movie. And the current war meaning the war of current, electricity.
Oh, wow.
And they all got it. They were competing.
Yeah.
So the Most High gave it to 3 guys or 4 guys at the same time.
Yeah.
That shows you that the Most High gave it to them, man.
And it's heavy because there were different levels to it. You had the direct currency.
You had AC
current.
and DC.
Yeah.
Alternate current and direct current.
Which shows you it's all the same energy, but
It's all the
just
same,
from
different ways. And Nikola Tesla, which I believe he's an Israelite, he wanted to give the whole world electricity for free, but the elite didn't want that. They said this is no way to become rich.
Yeah.
You know?
I got the current war.
His brother rocking the turban.
Oh, hey, wait, keep my head warm.
Oh.
the turban, the Matazan puff.
This is the current war in Wikipedia. It says the current war is a 2017 American historical drama film inspired by the 19th century competition between Thomas Edison and George Westinghouse over which electric power delivery system would be used in
But
the United States.
I don't know if that's a different movie, but Nikola Tesla was mentioned in that too, in the movie. So it was George Westinghouse. Who was the other one?
Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison. Was it George Westinghouse? And Nikola Tesla. That's what the movie was all about. And they were all contemporaries with each other, and they all had their own. There was a race to see who can push out the electrical system, currents. So wait a minute, why didn't this guy get it 10 years before the other 2 got it? Because the Most High gave it to him at that time, man.
Yeah.
I saw it. Cause I read something on Nikola Tesla, and he had said that he was dreaming, and while he was dreaming,
he said the Most High showed him to him in dreams.
Yep.
Matter of fact, give me that. Go put a Nikola Tesla or Nikola Tesla in his dreams or whatever. Which I believe he's a Jake, man. Go ahead, Art.
This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 1. He that liveth forever created all things in general.
That's beautiful.
The Lord only is righteous, and there is none other but he, who governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will. For he is the king of all, by his power dividing holy things among them from profane.
Now Esau thinks he's more powerful than the Most High. Well, if you're more powerful than the Most High, you can stop the war of Armageddon. You can stop the kingdom of Israel being established for the children of Israel. You can stop your red ass from going into slavery. That's what you're mad at, man. You're concerned about yourself. You're concerned about yourself, man.
Yep.
You know that you can't win any other way, so you got to demonize the Israelites.
That's right.
And all we're doing is out here teaching the scriptures.
Teaching the word, yeah.
Now we're telling you that you're going to go into slavery, you're going to get your ass whipped. Okay? That's scripture. And brothers can bring out get some precept together on that, and that's an easy thing to do. That's an easy thing to do.
You want Ezekiel 28 right now?
Yeah, give me Ezekiel 28.
Ezekiel 28:1. It says, the word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God.
Well, that's what Esau does. When Esau's a doctor, they have what's called a God complex.
Yeah.
Look that up. Somebody look up God complex.
Got it?
God, this to research it.
Yeah.
The street researcher.
And that's why Esau And that's why Esau don't want to go down, because he been on such a high level. He's been sitting on this pedestal for so long.
Yeah.
He said, I ain't going high. Fuck that. I ain't going down, man.
About 700 years. Because 1300s.
Late 1300, 1400.
Yeah, they came into power.
Yep. So we're talking about over 500 years.
Yeah, way
He
over.
was set up to that he's the dragon. He's that old serpent, the devil. And they don't like to be called that, man. But who does it fit? It doesn't fit anybody else, man.
Deadly wound was healed.
Deadly wound was healed. You got
Yep,
something?
yep, God complex. It says a God complex is an unshakable belief characterized by consistently inflated feelings of personal ability, privilege, or
Inflated.
infallibility.
That's Esau, infallibility.
Right.
What is that? Psalm 49 and 11?
Come.
Oh,
Psalms.
yeah, the inward thought is.
Read it again.
It
Read
says
it again.
a God complex is an unshakable.
Esau is suffering from a God complex.
Yeah.
That's why he's appalled at the fact that we're calling ourselves the Israelites. And the word Israelites means princes of God. And they're not the princes of God. They're Edomites. They're
Nope.
Esau.
Everything about the characteristics points to Esau. You know, they can't do amazing stuff that Jake can do.
Yeah.
They can't just
When
be-
it comes to the NBA,
Yep.
you ain't never gonna have most MVP among the Edomites.
Nope.
No.
You know, you got Edomites playing in the NBA, and those motherfuckers are Jakes.
Yep.
They look like Edomites, man.
You'll never have a Edomite Michael Jordan,
But you'll never have an Edomite
No
Michael
way.
Jordan, never have an Edomite
James Brown.
James Brown. You know, you'll never have an Edomite Floyd Mayweather.
Yep, that's
You
right.
know?
That's right.
You can only go so far, man. Hey, the UFC, Jake is taking that over, man.
Yep.
The heavyweight champion of UFC is a Nigerian. Y'all know his name? I can't. Francis something. Dahu or whatever.
I'm not really good.
He's
with
a heavyweight. He's a heavyweight. That's a bad dude. Hit you one time, you
Lights
going
out.
to sleep. You going to sleep.
Lights out.
Lights out James
The
Stone.
light heavyweight. The light heavyweight is this guy John Jones, which is he's a Jake, you know.
Come.
Then you have the middleweight.
Shalom, brother.
Hey, Shalom, Mike. You have the middleweight, which is this guy Israel Adesanya. You should watch him, Israel Adesanya. And then the welterweight is what's his name? Usman. Kamara Usman. I'm saying his name right. And he just beat the hell out of this one Edomite, which he could have been a Jake, but he acted like an Edomite. He was all back in Trump, and he came in there wearing a mega hat. And this guy is known for talking shit. And you know what that Jake did from Nigeria, Usman? He broke his jaw, and they had to wire his jaw shut. And then he just fucked him up throughout the whole fight. He just it's called ragdoll. When you take somebody, you pick him up, you throw him down, put him down, he get back up, beat him up, throw him down. That's called ragdoll. He said, this dude is getting ragdoll, man.
He got broken up. Did you want that in Psalms 49, Apostle?
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
So that's a God complex.
Yeah.
They think they're going to go on forever.
Yep.
That's right.
And what they're afraid of is us coming into power.
That's right.
And the only reason why we're doing it because the Most High put the spirit on us. Man's going, give me that in Proverbs. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way?
That's right.
You know?
Yeah. Got it.
And
Oh, you got it?
Go ahead.
You got it, bro.
Bring it on out.
Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of
Quick,
the Lord.
brother, quick.
How can a man then understand his own way?
Yeah, so what Esau did when he came out the caves, you know, he grunting, like Yakbar said, he was grunting. Then he kind of stood up, you know, pro magnum man. Then he started mouthing sentences and shit.
Yeah.
You know, then he started taking over world over, man.
Yep.
Eating
You
with
know?
forks
But
and
it was
spoons.
Jake that had to teach him,
Yep.
because the teacher that taught Alexander the Greek and his 4 generals under him, they all came up as young men they were trained, they were schooled by not Socrates,
Aristotle?
Aristotle. And Aristotle was a Jake. And one of the things that Aristotle taught Alexander, and then he taught him Hebrew. So Alexander was able to read and write Hebrew. Because the priest in the dream that he had showed him, you that guy.
Yeah.
You that guy in Daniel the 7th chapter. Back then it wasn't codified, but he showed him in the scrolls. He said, "You read that right there." He read it too in the Hebrew. Yeah. In the Hebrew.
And he said he perceived that he was talking about him.
Well, he showed him that he was talking about him, and then he saw it. You know.
I got.
Yeah, plus,
so he knew he was going to die at a young age.
Yeah. Plus, he had a Israelite in his army, Cletus Mellus.
Cletus, I knew you was going to. The boy had to come through there. So.
Yeah, it had to stick.
Well, his teacher was Aristotle, man.
Yeah, Cletus Mellus.
Cletus Mellus.
Yep. That's a Jake name right there.
Well, Mellus goes back to Mellus.
Mellus, yeah.
His name was Cletus, and Cletus sound like a Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't tell you that.
Cletus! Bring your get your now ass in the house.
Cletus! Notice they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that about the history of.
Like Leroy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many? You ever meet a white man with the name Leroy?
No.
That's
now
a
you
bad
know why?
name.
The spirit, the word. What does Leroy mean?
The king.
The king. La Roy.
Leroy. Yeah.
La meaning the, and Roy is royal, the royal one. So come on, man. Come on, dog.
Yeah, you had a movie called Rob Roy.
Rob Roy, right. Well, that was a good movie.
Yeah,
that
Rob
was a
Roy.
damn
Yeah,
good
yeah.
movie with this guy. This guy
Forgot
was
his
in
name.
Yeah. That dude. He always beating people up.
That
That guy.
I got a quick precept. Jeremiah 10:23. Oh Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liam Neeson.
He played in Excalibur.
Yeah, Rob Roy.
Yep. That was a good movie. That was a damn good movie. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 10:23. Oh Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps.
Back in Ezekiel 28, it says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God.
That's a God complex.
Put up his picture.
Read God complex again, please.
Okay.
God
It says, a God complex is an unshakable belief characterized by consistently inflated feelings of personal ability, privilege, or infallibility.
Read again, I didn't hear it.
A God complex is an unshakable belief characterized by consistently inflated feelings of personal ability, privilege, or infallibility.
Infallibility. What does infallibility mean? That means there's no end to you. You're gonna rule forever.
Like Thanos.
Yep.
Back in Ezekiel
And
28.
if anybody's Thanos, we Thanoses, man.
Thanos.
The Thanoses.
Ezekiel 28:2, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord power,
Somebody also give me Isaiah 47:1 on that.
because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God.
That's Esau. That's talking about Esau, man. Because another name for Esau is Tyrus. They're spiritually Tyrus.
Yeah.
Is there more?
Yeah, third verse. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures.
Yeah, because it said there's no secret that they can hide from thee, because they have the resources and the funds to travel the world and dig stuff up. You know, excavating all over the planet. You know, researching these different things. They have the records. They have records that they don't release to the public. You know,
They know because they dug things up. We know through the spirit.
I have an example.
Esau doesn't just read something and believe it. They go and confirm it, man, because they're carnal men. You know?
Yeah, they're the carnal.
I have an example of an Edomite.
They're not faith-based people.
We're not spiritual. We're not spiritual.
Which I believe in Jesus.
Yeah, brother. We in a meeting, brother.
I'm just trying to pray.
I know, but we in a meeting, brother. All right, we in a
I'm
meeting,
show you
brother.
I'm saying.
All right, brother. All right,
Nigga go
go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, this is
Go
an
ahead.
example of an Edomite with a God complex.
You the pastor, right?
Yeah, yeah, you can say that. We all pass. We're all
Pray
pass.
a little bit so you can see what I'm saying.
You good, brother. You already blessed, brother. We don't got to pray over you. You already blessed. You know why? Because you're an Israelite. So you're already blessed.
You a good God like that?
Huh?
You a good God like that? I don't need to.
Yeah. You already blessed, brother. You already blessed.
You see my cousin Carl over here?
Nah, if I see him, I'll let you know.
You're telling me.
All right. I'll let you know, brother. Go ahead.
All right, this is an
He
example.
was out here for the white stand over there.
Kind.
Yeah.
He
Well, that's some spirits.
Yeah,
That's some
spirits,
spirits,
yeah.
man. Oh, give me the scripture in Acts. If it's either Acts 19 or Acts 16 with the chick that was following Paul around.
God.
Not that I'm saying I'm not saying I'm Paul.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Hey, well, the scriptures say that the Lord shall smite thee with madness, and that's part of the curse. I was just watching the other Israelite chick walking by. She was all kind of messed up.
Yeah.
In the kingdom, all that shit's gonna be done away with, man.
Yeah. That's right.
The scriptures say that all Israel shall be righteous in the kingdom.
They're all
anything?
going to be eloquent speakers.
Yep.
Great orator, which is
right.
eloquent speakers. That's what is that? Isaiah 1 and 3 or 3 and 1.
3 and 1. Yep. Yeah, man. All that shit is gonna be done away with, man.
Go ahead, bring one up.
This is Acts 16, verse 16. And it came to pass as we went to prayer, a certain damsel possessed with a spirit of divination met us.
A certain damsel possessed with the spirit of divination. Please, somebody look up divination. If you can, go to that scripture and go to the blue letter and click on divination.
Okay. What is that? The
Acts 16 and 16.
Okay.
She had the spirit of divination on it, right? Meaning she had demons on it.
Okay. Divination. The Greek. It looks like Python.
So what does it mean?
And it says, in Greek mythology, the name of the Pythian serpent or dragon that dwelt in the region of Pytho at the foot of Parnassus in Phocis, and was said to have guarded the oracle of Delphi or the oracle at Delphi and been slain by Apollo. A spirit of divination.
Spirit of divination.
And I think when you look that up in the Old Testament, it says like like
Go
a fortune teller.
to divination or divination in the Old Testament.
Oh, there's a little more
Yeah.
down here. It says, the name of the region where Delphi, the seat of the famous oracle, was located, a python, by analogy with the supposed diviner there, inspiration, soothsaying, divination.
Soothsaying divination. Yep. And that goes back to the Oracle of Delphi, which they showed you that in a couple of movies. They showed you that in 300 when they went to consult with the Oracle of Delphi, and there were like 3 women. Y'all saw the movie, right? Where they were swimming, and they told them what's going to happen to them. Well, that show you that Jake set up the whole Greek system. The Hellenistic system was set up by Jake. So basically, there were spirits talking to that woman. And the spirit and the oracles of Delphi were always women. So this particular woman would be considered like an oracle of Delphi. She was able to see things because the spirit was in her, which is the spirit of the left-hand side.
Right.
And the spirit on the left-hand side was telling her that guy right there, he's one of the men of the Lord.
Yeah.
And Paul got mad at her because he didn't want the people to know that he was actually a true man of the Lord.
Right.
The witch at Endor that King Saul went to go see.
That's another one.
After the Most High,
Yep.
took the spirit from him, and at that time, it was Saul who he put it out. He mandated that there should be no
that's
witches.
Lahab. Yeah, that's Lahab.
Yeah, and
Lahab had the white. He had when he was Saul as a young man, he had the white on. Then
because I was gonna
when
say,
he got old, he put the black on.
Yeah.
You know, so he was the one that banished all witches, and then he consulted a witch.
right.
You know,
Yeah, that
he
was-
said since the right hand side ain't dealing with me, I'm gonna go with the left hand side.
Yep.
And
Lahab.
that's exactly what Lahab's doing.
Yep. And she was able to
Lahab is
raise
Saul.
Samuel up, or wake him up.
Yeah. Well, the spirit came up.
Right,
The
right.
Spirit. He didn't come up. It
Okay,
was the
right.
spirit. The spirit that
His
came
spirit.
through
Right.
it.
He
The
said, "Why
spirit.
you bother?"
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Familiar spirits. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
familiar
Yeah,
spirit.
come.
The Lord, when the Lord exercised
was
the
gonna
man
say,
with the legion of demons, the head legion of the legion, he called him Yahweh Shai and bowed down to him. You know, and then the Lord told him to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, them spirits,
what
the
did he
demons.
say? He said, "You are the Lord." What did he say? Matter of fact, get it. Let's get it, man.
You know what's heavy, Apostle? That
Now we're dealing with the spirit part of the scriptures, man.
Apostle,
And these demons know
They know
things,
who you are.
Khan,
you know,
Yeah, they know who
and they
you
tell
are.
the truth too.
Khan.
Anytime the demons jumped on somebody, they always told the truth.
Like, remember that movie,
Oh,
Little?
give me also, I believe that's Acts 19 about the vagabond Jews.
Remember the movie Little Nicky, where they knew they
That was a
kind of
good
knew.
movie. That was a good, and bro, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a good movie. Sometimes you gotta watch movies about the left hand side.
Khan.
And there was a movie put out years ago called The Craft. Anybody
Oh, yeah.
see that movie?
Yeah, I saw
You
it.
saw that movie, Craft? Never saw it? Never saw it? You gotta see it. Y'all saw it, right?
Yeah, I see.
And that movie was about witchcraft. And they showed, in the movie, they showed you real witchcraft.
Yep.
But them demons jumped on 4 of those girls, 3 Edomite chicks and Jake chick, and they were showing you how, that's a good fucking movie. Because it shows you, basically, it's like they believed in the Most High, but they believed in the Most High on the left-hand side.
Nah, she
And
ain't.
they called him Manu.
She's American.
Manu, you know?
I always think she was in Acts 19.
Go ahead.
I think there's a second
Acts
time
chapter
I mentioned
19,
that she
verse
was-
13.
she was that.
Then certain of the
just looks-
vagabond Jews, exorcists, took
Vagabond Jews meaning traveler. That's what it means.
Yep.
Don't mean you're a bum.
Yeah.
It means that you're a traveler. Man. Go ahead.
exorcists took upon them to call over
So
them,
they were exercising demons. Go ahead.
took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits, the name of the Lord Yahushai, saying, we adjourn you by Yahushai, whom Paul preaches. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew and chief of the priests, which did so. Then Slaki and the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushai I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye?
Well, who are you? Even though he called on the name of Yahushai, they didn't care. They said, I don't know you. I don't know you. You a new jack. You know?
I got a quick.
So what did they do? As you read down, they jumped him and beat the shit out of him and his sons, and they beat the clothes off.
Literally,
They
yeah.
literally ran naked. You know?
I got a quick precept.
Just because you come into this truth, you got a guy, you come into this thing, you watch video for 6 months, and all of a sudden he's a tip top. He's telling us what to do. Man,
work
them
that way.
demons know us. Demons don't know you, nigga. You know?
Quick precept. Luke 10.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
The demons don't know you. They know us, nigga.
Luke 10, 19 and 20.
And
Behold,
that brother, that dude that came by, you know, when you see my Uncle Charles tell him, I said, yeah, tell him, you gotta go with the demons.
Yeah.
You know?
I
He
let-
was standing right there about maybe a half an hour ago, then he kind of started walking around
Yep,
and
yep.
kept walking around. Then he came right here.
Yep.
I remember that dude that had demons, and I told him, get down, turn around, get down.
Oh, yeah.
I
Fucking.
said,
Yeah.
Y'all was there, y'all wasn't there. That was
on 34th,
He tried to come past the camp. I said, no, stop, you can't
Yep.
go.
Go back the
Stop.
other way.
Go back the other way. He turned around. I said, go. Then he started walking. I said, run. I said, run.
he had that crazy look on his face.
Next week, he came. He was looking at us.
Yeah, he kept stopping.
Now look at him.
Hey, cause we were standing there, he kept saying fuck it. He was trying to walk by, but then like something was blocking him.
Yeah.
Back around.
Yeah, that crazy look in his face.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a spirit. That was a demon.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
yeah,
demon, man.
Yeah.
Luke 10, 19 and 20. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Notwithstanding, in this rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven.
Yeah, so don't rejoice that you can control demons. Rejoice that your names are written in heaven. Straight, straight.
Dial 411.
Yeah.
Yeah, use your phone.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go to ways.
Luke 10, 19 and 20.
Telling me the point. I'm pointing.
Like we the New York directory. You know?
But the spirits. We're talking about the spirits, and the spirits are coming out. Man.
Active. They're active. Freaks come out at night.
Yep.
Oh man. Luke 10, 19 and 20. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on scorpions, on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Notwithstanding, in this rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. So
Hey, now that whole thing about the spirits, man, you know, that's a whole subject, man, a whole different subject. You know, guys that come into this thing and they fall off, man, the guarantee, the demons jump on it.
yeah.
And you see these guys that they'll break off from GMS or whatever, and then all they'll do is they don't talk about Esau. They ain't got no problem with Esau. They ain't got no problem with nobody, but the group that they came at. And then they were dealing with Nazis. They haven't did a video in months. Them guys just ran out of gas, and guess what? We knew that they were gonna run out of gas.
Yep.
And they ain't gonna show themselves, man.
I got the account with Legion.
Go ahead.
Is it the one that he said his name was Legion?
Yeah.
All right.
There's two accounts. It's one in, I believe, in Matthews and one in Mark. If
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
got the one in
mistaken.
Mark.
Yeah, the same story.
All right.
Go
This
ahead.
is the book of Mark, chapter 5. I'm gonna start at verse 4. I mean, actually, I gotta start at 1. It says, and they came over onto the other side of the sea, into the country of the Gadarenes. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him.
Now Esau doesn't believe in spirits. They'll tell you there's a term called narcolepsy. When you're sleeping and you feel like something holding you down, that's not according to Esau, that's not a demon. That's something in your mind, you know? So they give you medication to mess you up even further.
Yeah.
So Esau doesn't believe in that, man.
No, we don't.
Except for the super elite. Because
Right.
they have actually demons come to them, but them demons be lying to them too.
Yeah.
Because the spiritual demons, the demons are working for the Most High. Most High said, no, tell them this.
Con.
You know?
Or the council.
Give me Ramoth Gilead. Give me that.
Con.
Okay, perfect scripture.
Con. You were going there?
Yeah.
Yeah, finish
I
it.
think
Yeah.
it's second.
It says,
is that second
First King.
and no man could bind him, no, not with chains, because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains,
First Kings 22.
and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces.
Because demons give you great superhuman strength.
Con.
All right?
He was breaking chains.
He was breaking, they were locking, shackling him down, man. He was popping in chains.
Damn.
It said, neither could any man tame him. And always, night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. But when he saw Yahushua afar off, he ran and worshipped him. And
Wait a minute. Now, these are demons on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
These are demons. These are wicked spirits. So they were trying to, hold this guy down, shackle him. He would break the chains. He'd be in the damn cemetery howling and shit.
Damn.
And as soon as he saw Yahushua, man, he stopped and shit. He ran over to him.
Yeah.
Con.
You know,
Cut.
Con.
you know, one of these numbers, man.
Hey, wasn't
And
that?
that's why that dude came around and stopped at us, man. And what did he say?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys teaching about Jesus.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Wasn't that what's that Twilight Zone episode? Wasn't it called The Howling Man?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want Ramoth Gilead?
Yeah.
1 Kings 22 and 20. And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall,
Ahab was the king of Israel, right? Go ahead.
that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead?
So the Most High was setting up Ahab to fall. Go ahead.
And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord, and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lion spirit in the mouth of all his prophets.
Yeah, because I believe he had 400 prophets, if I'm not mistaken. And he had Micah, which he didn't like. So Micah told him the truth, but them 400 spirits told him a lie, that he was going to prevail.
Yep.
And he didn't prevail. How
right.
you doing, man? Right?
And he said, Thou
Okay,
shalt
good.
And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lion spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil concerning thee.
That's it.
That's pretty much
Yep.
it.
I got
So the
some.
Most High set him up by using an evil spirit, a spirit on the left-hand side, to convince Ahab to do what he had to do, and
right.
not to listen to the true prophet, which is Micah. All right, go ahead.
This is Mark chapter 9, verse 17. And one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I have brought unto thee my son, which hath a dumb spirit. And wheresoever he taketh him, he teareth him, and he foameth, and gnasheth with his teeth, and pineth away.
And now, when you go to these insane asylums and shit, them are demons, man. They can't. Esau can't control them demons, man. All they can do is sedate them, put them in a padded room with a straitjacket on, man, and beat the hell out of them. Yep.
I remember I had to work in a place, and I was in there, right? And I'm walking, and there was this one guy was going crazy, and he just like looked at me, right? And as soon as I walked away, he's like, ha, 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 ha. And every time he would see me, he's ha, ha.
They
I was
saw
like-
your spirit. He saw your spirit.
I was like, man, I got to get the hell out of here, man. He just went crazy. So, I walked across to the other room thinking, I'll get away from that. And then this old lady in the wheelchair turned around, and she had a missing eye. She had a hole in the, I was like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Crazy, man.
It was like a horror house, man.
Like Jacob's Ladder. He was like the scene from Jacob's Ladder, that movie, Jacob's
Man.
Ladder.
That's fucking, the company we used to work
Those
for.
spirits exist, man.
Oh, yeah.
Go to the crazy house, man.
Yeah.
Those people up in there are filled with demons.
Yep.
And Esau doesn't know how to expel those demons. You know?
Right. So what he do? He gives them drugs,
Yep.
which puts more spirits on them.
Yeah, there's a video, they say a lot of them old asylum buildings, when they're uninhabited, they're really haunted. A lot of them are haunted. Just old asylum buildings where they had
I
people.
don't know if you guys are filming, but I'd like to point out, as an Irishman who's just arrived, that there are spirits, and there are.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you would
there is
know.
energy.
Right, that's right.
That
that's
goes
right.
around.
That's right. That's
that
right.
influences all of us.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
A
Absolutely.
lot of people don't understand,
Oh yeah.
That's right. That's right.
but these things are actually affecting us.
That's right.
I'm an Irishman and a Celt.
Okay.
Okay,
And
well,
we
you're good
respect-
people. You're good
We
people.
respect
Yeah,
the
yeah.
energies
good
around us
Oh,
because
they're good
a
people,
lot
man.
of times you don't know, and then suddenly
Yep.
That's it. That's it.
you get.
Now, well, I'm going to tell you something. You're an Israelite, man.
Yeah.
You're an Israelite. Because, see, we teach that the people on the sign here, the black Puerto Ricans and so forth, are Israelites, but the Irish and the Scots are Israelites too.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, they were known as
Well, you know,
You can look at the man's spirit and see
we
that
got
he's an
raped and
Israelite.
pillaged by the English.
That's right.
Well,
yeah.
guess
I might
what?
be white, but yeah.
But guess what? They were all the same people at one time.
Yeah.
You gotta understand that they were all the
Touche.
people.
No, no,
Yeah.
Man's got a point. Man's got a point.
Hey, you ever watch the movie with Mel Gibson?
Oh,
Braveheart.
Braveheart. Now you know there's a statue of Braveheart, William Wallace,
Scotland.
and he got cornrows in his here, what white people you know got cornrows?
But as a Celtic, that was a piece of.
Oh
It
well,
wasn't,
well,
you know.
well. I don't know the whole history. I don't know the whole history.
You know.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is, exactly what you're saying.
Right.
Exactly what
But
you're saying.
but all those people that were fought with Edward, who was that? Edward,
Longshanks.
Edward the Longshanks.
Edward the 12th.
Edward the 7th.
Edward the 7th. You know more than me. But anyway, they weren't fighting. They were all the same people. They just broke each other up and labeled themselves. Just like the American Indians. All the American Indians is under one tribe, the tribe of Gad. But what they did was they broke up into separate tribes and they were fighting each other.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know?
With the human species, the thing, I don't know, I would rather that you didn't film anything. The thing with the human species is, everybody likes to get down to things like, I'm better than him, because I live in this system.
That's true. That's true.
And this guy, he's a cunt.
That's true.
And then when you get out a little bit, they go, oh, I'm from this country. So that
Exactly.
guy's a cunt.
Exactly.
Oh no, wait,
Exactly.
I'm from this continent.
Exactly.
So that guy's a
Exactly.
cunt.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And it's
Well,
all
ultimately,
It's
you believe in God. You believe in God.
Oh, yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Now you ever read the Bible?
Absolutely.
Okay. You know that it speaks about the
I'm
kingdom.
a Catholic.
Good. You speaks about the kingdom of heaven comes, right?
Yeah.
What is the kingdom of heaven all about? Everybody's going to follow one God
That's right.
under the Lord. So that's what we're waiting for. You see?
You know, yeah, but
one
when
God
you say
comes
that,
to
I
unite
agree
us
with you
all.
completely.
Mhm.
Because God loves everybody. It's humans that decide to hate each other.
Well, not
Well,
according to
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that goes. He's on the right track. But there's going to be
Okay?
in the
Tell me,
kingdom of
tell
heaven.
me, tell me.
You have the children of Israel.
Right.
That's the chosen people of the Lord.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to be on top of every other nation. But what they're going to do is they're going to teach all the nations the Lord.
Right.
Because they're going to call on the name of the Most High, and they're going to follow the laws of the Most High.
That's right.
You know? Hey, how you doing, man?
I got a quick precept for you.
There's
What's
a
that?
No, that's a pretty good point.
Oh yeah,
good point.
definitely. It's all about the laws, man.
Right.
Hey, you see a man kissing on another man? That's not right.
right.
It's against the
You see
law.
a woman and another woman,
Now
that's not right. Because let's say
this I digress. This I digress. How can you hate somebody for loving somebody? It's how I'm gonna throw it to you.
right, but the thing is,
How can you hate somebody
but
for loving somebody?
let me say this, brother. In the kingdom, that's not gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
That's
Yeah,
against the
all in
law.
that affection.
No,
There's certain foods
just
that
so
you
you know,
can eat.
I'm straight.
Okay,
Everything
good.
else. But how can you hate somebody for loving somebody?
That's
See, you know why you're saying
inappropriate
that?
love.
You know why you're saying that? Because you're part of this world.
Tainted love.
Yeah, tainted.
When you wake
Are you
up
not?
in the I'm in the world, but
So
I'm not
I'm your
of
friend,
the world.
huh? I'm your
Right,
friend.
No, yeah, of course, yeah. Well, friend means
Tell me.
friend.
Oh,
The word
okay.
friend, the word friend means brother.
Yes.
Okay, it means brother. So yeah, we're brothers, you know. So that makes us friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a quick precept for you.
Yeah. But I haven't disagreed with you for one single
Okay,
second.
good.
You know, like,
Good.
I
But
gotta-
ultimately, man, the Most High is going to set up a new kingdom, and He's going to bring order to the new kingdom. That's all I got to say.
Yep.
That's
Nothing
it.
else.
That's
He's
it.
going to bring order.
Who's gonna bring order?
The Most High, God.
The Heavenly Father.
He's going to bring
The
order.
Lord our Father.
The Creator.
The Lord our Father. He's
That's
gonna,
right.
That's right. He's going to bring order. He's going to bring order, man. You know?
Yeah, because this world is totally out of order.
Totally
His
out.
word is out of, his world is out of
Because they
order.
have rejected God's law.
That's
Well,
it.
That's it.
You know, one of God's laws is homosexuality. I got it right here.
Yeah.
Leviticus 20:13. If a man also lie with
Was
mankind,
another man, then yeah. I know
As-
I know Leviticus.
yeah, well,
I have studied the Bible. I've also read the Quran and I've also read the Torah.
so you should know
So
that.
this is why I don't particularly want this to be
No,
filmed.
it's fine. So
I
you
just want
should.
to talk between gentlemen.
That's
because we're all
cool. That's cool.
gentlemen, You know.
Well, then you know that homosexuality is
As a
forbidden.
Catholic and as a proper
Can I
Catholic,
finish my statement? Just finish my
please,
statement.
excuse me, sir.
You know that homosexuality is forbidden by God.
That's right.
It's forbidden by God because this is the
But
law.
Did not God say, love thy neighbor?
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with loving the neighbors. You
No, I'm talking like just
like I would like if you're my
See,
neighbor.
you know what you do? Well, true love
Right.
is what? Applying the law.
That's it.
So in this kingdom, if somebody's a homosexual, they got to be put to death.
That's
They gotta
according
be
to the
put
law.
death in our kingdom. See, because the
true,
reason
though.
why.
But did not Jesus say, with the prostitutes that he had around him,
Well, that has nothing to do with being a
Right.
because you had prostitutes back then.
Right.
He said that they would go to the kingdom before the
the-
scribes
yep.
and the Pharisees.
That's right.
Okay,
All right.
fair enough, fair enough.
Now, men used to lay with women for
Yeah.
money. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. You heard that? There's nothing wrong with
That's
that.
right.
The only law in the scriptures about prostitution is don't put your daughter to become a prostitute.
That's right.
I got a quick precept.
you know
I would like
you
to
know the
point
stuff-
out.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to point out that I am not gay.
No, you said
No,
that.
you said that already. You said that. Yeah,
I
yeah.
just want to point out just in
No,
case
we-
you know,
got you.
nobody's
No,
forgotten.
no.
I got another- I got another scripture I'd like to read from.
But, excuse me, let me turn my phone off because I
Okay.
don't care.
I got another scripture I'd like to read. This is from the book of Colossians 3 and 5. It says, "Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affection." What's that? That's homosexuality. That's homosexuality. Can I finish my statement,
please,
please?
sir.
That's lust that is inordinate. It's out of order. It's not
That is
natural.
lust. That is lust.
Yes, and it's not
And it's out of
natural.
order.
It's out of order.
That's very true. Yeah.
It's out of order. And
That's-
the reason why
yeah.
you say what you say is because you're part of this world.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
it's accepted in this
you grew up
world.
in this world. It's accepted, man.
Yeah.
At one time,
But,
it wasn't accepted.
But that's what
One
it
time
means.
It wasn't accepted, man.
That's what it means in Colossians, because
Your
you.
forefathers didn't accept that.
That's right.
At the end of the day, how can you hate somebody for loving somebody?
Well,
That's not love.
that's
Right.
not love.
That's tainted love.
inordinate affection.
That's tainted
That's why
love.
it's right there. Inordinate.
Okay, that's a very good point.
Yeah,
That's a very good
inordinate
point.
affection. Then it says evil
There's a
concupiscence.
reason why you say you're not. The reason why you say you're straight, man. Because if somebody, what if some man
Look,
love?
man,
Wait.
I'm married with the word
Okay, no,
of
no,
God.
I'm not
and
knocking
everything.
that.
There you go.
No,
There you
no,
go.
no.
There you
But
go.
what if you sleeping and you get up one day and you getting your knob polished? You know what I mean by that? You know what I mean by that?
I
You
don't.
getting-
I'm Irish,
you're
so I don't really
you
get
know,
that.
when somebody sucking your.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
know?
I hope it's my wife. Yeah, you know.
You said, you see what he said? I hope it's my
What if
wife.
you're feeling good?
Why not?
What if-
Why not a man?
What
Because
if
it's.
it- right.
I'm sorry,
What if it was a
bro.
man
Because it's
doing
not my
that?
preference.
What if
But it's not my
Why?
yeah,
preference.
but it's his preference.
Right.
It's his preference.
But if he wishes,
But you ain't gonna let him do it.
me particularly.
You're not gonna let him do it.
No, I want to finish the point with this gentleman over here.
So what's the question? What? Because people are wondering where you are.
That's my brother, by the way.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Top of the
Yes,
evening.
sir, man. He's a
My
good
family
man.
Top of the
calling
evening
me
to
away,
you.
so I have to. Okay.
Top of the
Hey,
evening to you.
brother.
It's a very
All right, man.
It's
All
a very
right,
good
all right,
point.
man.
Thank you very much.
You got it, man.
Right.
All right.
All right, man.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, he's Jake all the way.
Con.
Yeah,
All the way. He look like an evil man, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, you know the thing, like the Apostle Paul was saying that you know, he's part of this world. That's why he thinks like that, because in this world you have to try to make room for everybody, but that's not according to the scriptures. And when the scriptures are coming out, he was like backing off because he said he
He's
read the
part of the
scriptures.
world. He's
Right.
part of the world,
That's it.
man.
That's right.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, brother. You got it.
This is
Go ahead.
1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
I got another one to back you up, bro.
5:19.
First
Give me,
Corinthians.
and this is love.
Con.
First John. Yeah, get that right now.
This is 1 John 5 and 3. For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
And his commandments is not grievous.
There's
man.
one in 2 John 6
It
verse.
says almost the same thing.
Con.
Yeah?
Quick precept, 1 Corinthians 7 and 31. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away.
That's right.
Yeah. So hey, new heavens and
Did
new
you have to
earth.
get a key?
That's it.
You read? What'd you read from?
1 Corinthians 7 and
Give me
31.
Revelation 21 and 1 on down, and then your precept come out.
Revelation 21 and 1 on down.
What have we been doing for the last an hour and change? What have we been doing? We've been teaching, man.
Teaching the
We've
scriptures.
been going into the scriptures, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Man, no gimmicks. You don't need no where the gimmicks at.
And if Christians sat down and really watched these videos, they would.
You'll learn something.
They learn.
Yeah.
Which they're doing anyway.
Yeah, they
And
do.
Going
Yeah.
into the Bible dictionaries and the biblical maps and the
Yep.
ancient words and
Hebrew.
the little bit of Hebrew, a little bit of
Greek.
Greek, you know.
Latin.
some Latin.
Yep.
All
And,
they got to do is teach.
and that's why they're trying to demonize us and slander us, because they see that people are actually learning. You know, like Ariala down from Dallas said, look, you Christians are mad because we actually read the scriptures. We actually read the
And we're
words that are
teaching-
in the
we're
scriptures.
teaching people, man.
That's right.
And we went into a whole thing on a demon possession, man.
Yep. And that drew him in at first.
Hey, Vocab, you saying that we're terrorists. You see how cordial we was with the Irish gentleman?
Yeah.
And then his brother came up. We said, hey, how you doing? He said, hey, he's my brother, by the way. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Because all we do is teach, man.
That's it. And that's how you're supposed to do it. You know, all this when an Edomite comes up, or a so-called looking white person, you damn devil!
Yeah, yo, that's all bullshit.
That's you know, just you can the reason why they're coming against us is because the word is cutting. The word is powerful enough. You know, most I don't need you huffing and puffing. You know, just teach the
So
word.
you got to teach. Hey, the beautiful thing with YouTube did is make them new rules, because now you know what it forces to do, to just teach.
Yeah.
To just teach, man.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about.
Esau, you're
So like-
Edomite, you're this, you're that.
Yeah.
You're-
And that's what it's all
you're
about.
That's all, yeah.
Teach it.
Read a newspaper article. You know, go ahead.
I got the precept right there for that. It says, this is Matthew 10, verse 5. It says, these 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles.
You know what you're gonna have to read? I did a video on that, pretty much reading damn near the whole chapter. You're gonna read into that. We're gonna read that whole thing. Changing gears again. Go ahead and read.
So it says, these 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
Now, a Christian will come up. Well, wait a minute. What about the Great Commandment? What did the Most High say? What did the Most High? What did the Lord say?
Yeah.
Go not into the way of the Gentiles.
That's it.
Well, don't walk their path. Just teach them. No. It says, read again.
It says, these 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Don't go where the Gentiles are. Don't go that way.
Yep.
You're not here to teach the Gentiles. Go ahead.
And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. Because what did you have in Samaria? You had heathens. You had Jacob out there too.
Yeah,
but you had heathens out there, and they was thinking they were Jews.
Yeah.
Q. You know what I want? John 4.
John 4, right. John 4.
You got
and-
certain Israelite groups saying that the woman at the well was an Israelite. But
So-
when
yeah,
after we read
okay.
that, you're gonna see that this woman is not an Israelite, man.
John 4 and 6. Now Jacob's well was there. Yahushua therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the 6th hour. Then cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahushua saith
Hold on,
unto
why did Yahushua be getting weary? Because he was in a human body. He got
Yeah,
hungry. He had to go to sleep. He went to the bathroom. He
Yep.
ate.
Yea,
There were certain things that he liked. He liked figs, and he liked
Fish.
with
He felt
honeycomb.
pain.
Yep.
He felt
That's
pain.
That's
Yeah.
some honeycomb, brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
He slept.
Yep. That's right. Go ahead.
He like that roasted fish.
That's right. That's right.
Ooh, imagine some roasted snapper.
he drank
Yep.
wine. Drank wine.
Drink
Yep.
wine. Yep.
Then cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahushua saith unto her, give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou being a Jew askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Yahushua answered and said unto
There was a
her,
reason why, because they wasn't the real Israel.
they were heathens.
They were heathens. They were practicing the laws
Yeah.
of the Most High to the best, and that goes back to
Ezra, right? Ezra?
Ezra, and also goes back to Second Kings 17 chapter. Matter of fact, go right to the point. Go right to the point.
This is 2 Kings
Quick, quick.
chapter 17 and
23, 24.
yeah,
is it?
23.
Gotta know that
Actually,
history.
22. It says, for the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did, they departed not from them, until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land into to Assyria unto this day. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Avah, and from Hamath, and from Sepharim, and
So there was a bunch of mixed up people that came. Wouldn't know. They used at the old school on West. They used to say it was Ethiopians. No, it was a bunch of different people from that region.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was pushed into the land of Samaria because the Israelites was not there. Go ahead. They were pushed out. Go ahead.
and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel.
So where were the children of Israel?
Right.
They were outside. They were under the authority of the Assyrian king, Shalmaneser V. Go ahead.
It says, and
In
they
order to understand these scriptures, you gotta
know the history.
How
Yeah.
many of you Christians understand history?
Like vocab, you don't know the history, man.
Whole vocab. He's a hopeless case. Go ahead.
it says, and they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof.
Yep.
And
And
so-
that's why, if I may say, that's why when you go up to the time of Ezra, them heathens were coming up because they said, look, we were worshiping your fathers from back then, so we want to come and build with you.
Right.
That's what them Amalekites are doing now. You know, they've been in that role so long. They think that they're really the people. That's why they're continuing that on. You know.
Yeah, they forgot that they were converts, man.
Yep.
Going back to the time of John Hyrcanus,
Oh yeah.
forcing them into being following the Lord's statutes and commandments.
Yep.
Shaking Bullen.
Shaking Bullen, yep.
Khazars.
The Khazars,
Yep.
Khazars,
But
yeah.
some of them, the Khazars, half of them, part of them followed Islam. Those are the Ottoman Turks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there was another percentage, a big percentage that followed the laws
Christianity?
of the Most High.
Yeah.
So it was two. Well, the laws of the Most High. So they were calling themselves Jews.
Right.
You know, and then eventually Christianity too.
Right.
So they saw a religion. They were the religion or the spirituality is based upon a nation of people.
Yeah.
So they said, well, I'm going to follow that religion. No, that's
Right.
only for a certain group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, when that term Christians came about, them so-called Jews, they weren't part of that. That was so-called Negroes being called Christians.
Yeah.
That didn't come until later, way later. In what, 700 AD, around there, 600 AD. Yeah, man.
Yeah, what proves that too is King Agrippa. He said, "Almost thou persuaded me to be a Christian." He wasn't trying to.
yeah, he
hear-
would- yeah,
he
exactly.
He didn't want nothing to do with Christianity back
Right.
then. The true Christianity.
That was
And then
yeah,
that was Agrippa, which is Herodian.
yeah.
They were raised up to be Jews.
Come.
That's why John the Baptist cursed out who was that? Was laying with Philip or Herod which Herod was it? He was laying with his brother Philip's
Philip's
wife.
wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the Herod the second of
Herod the second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The son of Herod the Great.
The Herod the Great.
was
And
Yeah.
he was popping. If I'm
Arcadius.
wrong, you know, you can look it up and let me know.
Come.
But he was popping Philip, his brother's wife. But they were going around saying that they were Israelites.
Right.
They were Jews. They were keeping the laws. So John cursed them out. He said, "Wait a minute, how you gonna keep the laws
hypocrites.
and you committing adultery with your brother's wife?
Yeah.
You know?"
Yep.
And there was her that said, "Have his head chopped off." Told Salome when she was dancing because she didn't care, but women don't care about the laws.
No.
They don't care about God. Inside joke.
Yeah, inside joke.
They don't care about the laws, man.
Yeah.
Don't be teaching my woman no laws. She's gonna go into one ear and out the other.
They're lawless. Women
They're
are
lawless.
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 Lawless
That's
creatures.
why they're your property, man.
And these women, they come on the comment
Now,
board
if
and all
the
that.
Irish guy was there, we're like, I beg to differ.
Yeah.
He don't know.
No, you don't.
He's young.
Plus, he was a little
Sauced up. Yeah.
He was sauced up.
I mean, hey, brother, he came down. We didn't get mad. We just didn't get
This is a
mad.
typical Irishman.
Yeah.
Sauced.
We just used it, man. The bill.
He
Oh,
came-
yeah, oh, yeah.
Became respectful,
Yeah, he came respectful. Yeah. Came cordial.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
even in all his sauce.
Yep. All this sauce. Go ahead.
Back in 2 Kings 17, verse 25. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there that they feared not the Lord. Therefore the Lord sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Wherefore
And
they,
when things happen to you, man, you know, you trip over something, you bust your face, and then you get up, you come out the hospital, then the lightning bolt hits you, You know?
Damn.
Then you survive that, and you walk across the street and you get hit by a car. Then you survive that, then you wake up and you find out you got AIDS. That's the Most High, man. That's the Most High plaguing your ass, man.
I got
Like Deuteronomy 28 chapter. The Most High gonna plague your ass, man. I'm gonna hit you with the botch of Hebrew, Egypt. You know?
Damn.
I'm gonna hit you with the hemorrhoids, man.
Damn.
He said you're gonna be on groping at noonday as a blind gropers in darkness. Now, what does that mean? On a physical level, that's talking about you out there drunk on the street. But it also is talking about you looking for the truth, but you can't find it. You know? Because Esau made a law saying you can believe anything you want to believe. And that's the definition of confusion, which the word is Babylon, man.
quick precept to back you up.
That's right.
Deuteronomy 32 and 39.
See, we're giving you principles to live by, man.
That's it.
And here, how you going to demonize the teachers, man?
Yeah.
How you going to teach the professor?
How you gonna teach that?
Hey, I said it in one video,
Yeah.
and you know I actually watched the video of him fighting Salvador Sanchez.
Oh, yeah.
That was a 15-round fight, man.
God damn.
And Salvador Sanchez knocked him out like 10 minutes before the end of the fight.
Wow.
But Salvador was getting his, they were going at it, man. But hey brother, that's going back.
Yeah,
Going way
cut. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
And that means Esau. Because when the time comes for you, give me that Job, what is that? What is that? Job 14?
And 5.
And 5, yep. Go ahead.
Job chapter 14.
Quick, bro. Quick.
The Most High got it. He got it
Before I could
in
even
the
open it.
calendar. The Most High got it on the calendar, man. The day that Esau goes down. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Check
Oh,
the
yeah.
calendar, he got 5 days left.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
realize
Yeah.
This nigga got 5 days left.
Yeah.
Take his ass out. Fire his ass up.
Yeah.
So on that day, brother, you know, Most High gonna be, chilling.
Yeah.
Gonna look at the calendar. Say,
Yeah.
yep.
Today is the
In
day.
5 seconds, that's when your bell gets rung. You
That's
know?
it.
That's when I pull your ticket. You
That's
know?
right. You know how you got the calendar, you put the X's on
No,
each
that's
day?
it. That's it. Most I got that X, right? The Lord don't even know. Yahweh Shai don't even know.
That's right.
Only the
Man.
Most High knows.
The
So
mo-
the Yahweh Shai looking at, he's looking at him like,
Now, Lord.
I mean, look, you look like he gonna do it today.
Come.
Hey, Esau thinks he's the only one with plans. The Most High got plans too. You know what I
He
mean?
made your ass.
Yeah, he got plans too. The Most High got plans to rejuvenate this earth, man. Esau, you in the
And
way.
they know it.
You in
they
the way,
know it.
Esau.
That's right.
They know it.
You know, the Lord got plans to send his son back down, his son to do what he got to do, then rejuvenate the earth and then build everything back up right, make the earth a paradise. And you in the way, Esau. So you got to get the hell out the way.
I got a precept, Pastor.
Go ahead.
This is Acts chapter 17, verse 27.
Stop.
I'm sorry, 26. And had made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and hath determined the times before appointed, and the bounds of their habitation. Meaning the
Where you reading from?
That's Acts chapter 17, verse 26.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So he set the time for them to raise up and to fall.
Got a quick precept to back you up.
Give me this one in Job. You ready? Ready?
I got it right here.
Okay, read it again.
Oh, he got it.
You got, that was Job
Job
first?
chapter
Oh,
14, verse 5.
I know he
It
had.
says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months already, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Right.
Give me that in Daniel. I believe that's in Daniel. See, set up. You take down one and set us up another.
I got one real quick.
Give me that. Go ahead.
This is Job 21 and 17. How oft is the candle of the wicked put out? And how oft cometh their destruction upon them? The Most High distributeth sorrows in his anger. They are as stubble before the wind, and as chaff that the storm carrieth away. The Most High layeth up his iniquity for his children. He rewardeth him, and he shall know it. His eyes shall see his destruction, and he shall drink of the wrath of the Almighty. For what pleasure hath he in his house after him, when the number of his months is cut off in the midst?
When his the number of his months are cut off in the midst. Also, hold me Revelation 21 and 1.
Yeah, like he did the Babylonian Empire. He cut them off in the midst.
Somebody got the other one?
I got
mini
Daniels.
tickle, man.
Yeah.
the king of Babylon got killed after they saw the handwriting on the wall.
Very
and
nice.
people use that to this day. Look, man, the handwriting's on the
on the
wall.
wall,
Where
yeah.
they get it from?
Yeah.
The Babylonian Empire, man.
Yeah. And that very night,
Yeah, give me that.
Belshazzar? Yeah, Belshazzar was slain that very night.
Yep.
And Darius took over.
Yeah, they was
Go ahead.
they
Go
were
ahead.
drinking from.
Chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High Yahweh ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the bases of men.
The
Right,
base.
set us up one and take down another. And the bases of men are who?
Esau.
Esau. He's the base man.
Low man.
Hey, somebody give me Job 30, and normally we go to 5. Start at the top.
Okay. I got it. Job 30 and 1. Wow.
Now you're going quick.
Oh, no. Hey. Job 30 and 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock.
Go ahead.
Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes.
That's the Edomites when they were in that caveman state. And that wasn't no 10 million years ago, man.
Yeah.
That was what? That was 2,000, about 2,500 years ago. In that time period. They were in the caves during the time of the Babylonians. But not all of them went up into the caves. Some of them stayed down in Mount Seir. Go ahead.
Who cut up?
Remember, there was just like we were scattered. Esau scattered too. How the hell you think he got over here?
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't here in the beginning. Go ahead.
Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief.
Hey, just like they're doing right now.
Yeah.
They cried after them as after a thief. You know, it speaks about the Jews who kicked out of 109 city-states going back into history, right?
Yeah.
Now you got to go to Genesis 4 and go right to the point about Cain.
Who got that?
He said, if they see me, they will kill me. When they see you, they go kill him. So they seeing him now. So all these nations are coming up against him, man. Them Palestinians, which are Semitic, are throwing rocks and shit at him, you know, because they don't belong in that land.
That's Isaiah 14, right? It says, they that see thee shall never look upon thee.
And that's what the nations are doing, because the truth is coming out on these devils, man.
Got Genesis 4.
Go ahead.
Genesis 4, verse 13.
Hey, you know what's exposing these devils, man, too? All these different news programs around the world. You got RT News, you got Al Jazeera, you got Press TV, you got all these different alternative news media, and that's why YouTube is doing what they do, because the truth is coming out on these people, man.
NPR.
NPR,
And then you got
which that's
individuals.
bullshit. You know,
Then you got individual people with their phones, smartphones.
That's
wherever
right.
something happening, they'll come out with their phones
That's it.
and
That's
they'll
it.
put it out.
That's it. And you got a thing called Rippling on RT, where anything that happens, if there's a riot or a protest, they got cameras all around the world, and they'll just film it live with no commentary. So the revolution is going to be on YouTube. Okay, the revolution is going to be televised too.
Yeah.
But the revolution, the missiles is going to be on you. There's going to be motherfuckers on YouTube live streaming the missiles coming to America, man. Damn.
Other parts tall, it's this dude, they call him Dr. Doom. And he pretty much he goes around telling the nations, and look, leave off from that whole dealing with the nuclear, building missiles and all that. He said because as soon as nations start, delving in that stuff, especially Russia and America, he said that it's inevitable for nuclear destruction to happen,
But it's inevitable.
And that's all it's inevitable,
Hey, because the Lord said he created the waste to destroy.
Yeah.
So,
And they don't even know that. Well, they do. They hear us say it, and in the back of their mind, they say, "What if that's all true?" Hey, a lot of these screeners that watch us on YouTube and strike us and all that, a lot of them are bugging out, man. They need counters now. because they got to sit there. They get paid to sit there and watch our videos,
Yep.
and the truth is getting, smacked in their faces, man.
Good.
They getting buffeted with the truth, and buffeted means to get smacked around.
Yep.
That's messing them up. They lose their sleep. They having nightmares.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're
got-
doing that opioid thing. A lot of these crackers are dying off of the opioid epidemic, man.
This
Yeah,
truth
they're
will
all
have
fucked
a
up.
this truth will have a psychological effect.
Yeah,
on
if you an Edomite man and you listen,
Oh man.
proof Esau, more proof Esau is the
Oh,
so-called
man.
white man.
Oh,
And you
man.
blonde hair, blue-eyed devil, you gotta watch that shit and screen it, man.
Oh
And
man.
then you go to sleep and you have
Nightmares.
dreams that you're in slavery, man.
I got a quick precept for you. Hosea 6:5.
Hey,
Therefore,
look. This happened to us. These prophets came to us. The prophets came to us back in the ancient world. Well, we are the prophets. We told the Israelites that you're gonna go into slavery. This is gonna happen to you. And what did they do to us? They said, kill these motherfuckers, man.
Yep.
yeah. Hosea 6:5. It says,
And she had to wait. She had to wait. She had to walk down the street. No excuse for what happened. Dumb bitch. That's why she couldn't say it
"The
in
hell
our
is she
face.
talking about?"
Yeah.
I guess you're
She's
talking
one
about
of them dummies that watch the news, man.
Yeah.
Believe the media.
No?
Oh boy.
Go ahead.
Hosea 6:5.
For a
Therefore,
woman, man.
You gotta go.
They
They
ain't
go.
got it, man.
Especially-
They're there for one reason and one reason only, man.
That's
You
it.
know? Is to get,
nowadays you can lose your life getting that crap.
Oh yeah, you get AIDS, man.
Get fucking
AIDS, you get syphilis.
yeah, some disease, man. So they ain't even good for that.
Damn.
Hosea 6:5. Therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth.
Yep.
This word messes them all up.
I got some real quick. This is Hebrews 1:1. The Most High, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds.
Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
Yeah, discerning meaning it brings out what you're really thinking,
Right.
This word really exposes you.
Con. Because sometimes people try to come up like acting like they're really on your side or
Yep.
asking for so-called sincere reason, but then later on it comes out that they were just being a demon anyway.
Yeah, like a lot of people, they say, well, why you always got to read that Bible? Yeah, because it's exposing the real you. That's the word is exposing you. That's why we got to read it.
I want to hear what you got to
Yeah,
say.
I want to hear what you, and then the Lord told Ezekiel to speak with my words unto them. So that's what we're doing. We're speaking with the Lord's words, which is why we keep reading the scriptures.
Chimed in.
Another one real quick.
You got it, bro.
This is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 14.
Somebody hold on deck, Daniel 7, verse 18.
It says, wherefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts,
77:18.
because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them.
Woo!
Damn.
That's right. That's right.
That's how powerful the word is.
And that's what's happening. That word is devouring people.
Yep. That's it.
And these are just words being, but they're the words of the Most High.
That's right.
Before you go to Daniel
7:18.
7:18, go to Revelation 18, verse 20.
It says Revelation chapter 18, verse 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets.
Go up a couple of verses.
Okay, this is Revelation chapter 18, verse, I saw that 16. And saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen,
But people don't, the mass of the people don't know what the great city is. Go ahead.
and purple, and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stone, and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught.
For 1 hour, so great riches has come to nothing. It's come to nothing. Go ahead.
And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city?
And that's the nations that have made money through manufacturing. You know, China's going to be one of them nations, man. Any nation that makes things, the biggest consumers on the planet Earth are the people right here in America. This is Babylon. This is Babylon, man. That's why they have those big, you had a big 50-inch television. Now you got a 100-inch television. What do people buy? They throw out the 50-inch and get the 100-inch. For what? It's a bigger picture, man.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
It does the same thing.
And all these, all these components that you see when you go to these different Best Buys and all these different stores, all these electronics, they mostly come from where? China, man. Yep. You know?
It says, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate.
And what's going to make this place go out in 1 hour? Missiles. ICBM missiles. Somebody give me Isaiah 54.
Isaiah 54.
16. Go ahead.
It's Isaiah 54, verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
Yeah. What was that old saying, Indian saying?
I have become
Death, destroy the world.
Destroy the world, right.
And this Edomite, I believe his name was Robert Oppenheimer, when he was speaking about, and you can even listen to him say it on YouTube. When he actually said it live, he was talking about when the missiles were dropped, man. Yep. When the nuclear age came.
Yep.
You know, he wanted to cry, man, because he knew that could lead to
the destruction,
total destruction, World War III, Armageddon. All right. He quoted the Hindu proverb. He said, "I am become death to destroy worlds." Yeah. And what's one of the only things that can destroy worlds is missiles, man.
Yeah.
ICBM missiles. So the Most High said, I have created the waster to destroy. The waster to destroy are these missiles, man. That's why it's going to take 1 hour.
1 hour.
Got a quick piece of
Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Yeah, because they're going to use our ICBM missiles. I don't know. Shoot. Go.
He's training.
Go ahead.
Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, that I shall leave them neither root nor branch.
And that's his place. That's Babylon the Great, which is America. Yep. Christians don't teach that. There's a couple of Christian scholars, Edomite Christian scholars, that'll come out and say that yes, Babylon is America. Yep. There's a couple of them, you know.
I got another one.
Yeah, but they don't go into that the total destruction of America.
No, because they're scared, man. They're scared.
Yeah, they don't go into that, man.
You know.
And then you just read that part said neither leave them root nor branch. Meaning America's going to be totally wiped out, man.
It's going to become a desert.
It's going to be a desert.
And but Esau show you that in their movies.
In their movies, yeah.
And the Matrix, the first one, when Morpheus showed them the world, welcome to the world of the real. Yeah. And when he saw it, he started throwing up.
Yeah. He couldn't believe it.
They showing you in their movies what they're going to do.
Oh, Planet of the Apes?
Planet of the Apes. Yeah.
All that time, Charlton Heston thought he was on another planet, but he found out.
And the sequel to it, they were worshiping the missile.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. He found out he was on planet Earth, and he found out he was in America.
Yep.
And he found out he was in New York.
New York. Yep.
Yeah, because he saw the Statue of Liberty buried up to damn near its neck in sand, and then he did that famous speech. You did it! You did it!
You bastard! Damn you!
Damn you all to hell! That shows you the elites, the top elites know America's going to be destroyed, man. They know that.
And he was walking around in loincloths, man. And they call him
Well,
bright eyes.
they were showing how the apes took over, which they call the movie Planet of the Apes. And what they call us? They call you niggas are a bunch of apes.
Yep.
Yeah, apes, yeah.
You know?
And even the group Public Enemy, they had an album called Fear of a Black Planet.
Oh yeah.
You know?
And
They're-
that's the truth.
Yep.
It's really Fear of the Israelite Planet.
Israelite
right.
planet,
You know?
yeah.
Right.
Well, Apostle Hall, they had the one where it was, I believe it was Rise, the rise of the Planet of the Apes, and then they had one scene where they had that ape Caesar, and then he had a Jake that was talking to him. He said, "You know, Caesar," he said, "your people and my people we're pretty much the same." He said, "What we've been through," and right there, they were showing right there that who the apes really were.
Yeah.
Because Caesar, he was breaking it down to Caesar, you know.
Yep.
And
Caesar
the
was-
last one that they made with this guy, he played like Walter E. Kurtz. What's this guy? Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, yeah.
Now, they were making him to be the bad guy. They really wasn't the bad guys. They were fighting for their humanity. Because as the apes grew, you notice that they couldn't speak no more. That's why in the movie, the first one, they couldn't speak.
Right.
Because the apes evolved
Right.
over the Edomites.
And they
you know?
digress, yeah.
Yeah. So he was fighting for his humanity, man. For his you know,
Survival of his species.
survival of the species, man. So he really wasn't a bad guy, you know. So that's going on with Esau, man. The truth then got your ass. The worst thing you can get hit with is some truth, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you'd rather get hit with a baseball bat than you get hit with some truth.
Yep. But that truth hits harder than steel.
That's it. Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra 16, verse 12. The earth quaketh and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with the waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled. And the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow.
Where you reading from?
2nd Ezra 16.
Oh yeah.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp. and
Now,
shall-
why didn't they just say ICBM missile? Number one, the prophets didn't know the ICBM missile, and I looked and behold, an ICBM, which means intercontinental.
Right.
Yeah, they're not gonna,
Intercontinental ballistic missile. No. Regular Bible.
regular Bible.
Show it. Go, show it. Good.
King James.
Okay, that's what we read. Yeah, definitely. That's right. Yeah. When you read Revelation 18, you know what that's talking about, the downfall of this place.
I got it.
Destruction.
Of America. So the chosen. Oh yeah. Well, that's gonna be nothing compared to America being destroyed.
Yep.
You know, and that's why, you know, this man is scrambling now. You know.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to stop his destruction. The destruction gonna come.
Scrambling, sidestepping.
Well, the Antichrist is the white man.
Yep.
That's right.
I feel that Trump, for some reason, I don't think he's wrong, but there's a man that has to be not a white man, the dark skin. The Bible talks about dark skin, that's why. Why did you rebuild
Yeah, but you know what? They got that's all movie stuff.
Right.
Because we don't know if Trump is going to be the one that pressed the button or whatever.
True.
You know what you got to wait for? The next elections. Whether he going to be president. If he becomes president again, you can bet your last dollar that man is going to lead the world into Armageddon. You know about Armageddon?
Yeah.
Armageddon, that's written in the book of Revelation.
Yes.
Armageddon is a Hebrew word meaning a mountain of troops. You're going to have all these troops come together to fight this war in the Middle East, and it's going to lead to the destruction of America. And you know, it's hard talk. The words that I'm saying is hard talk, but it's true. It's true. And we are the Israelites. And the Most High is going to deliver us. He's going to beam us up. Now I'm going to sound crazy.
Oh yeah.
UFOs are going to come, and we're going to get beamed up.
Let me tell you something about the UFOs. I think they are aliens.
Those are angels. Those are angels.
Those are angels.
Angels, yeah.
Those are angels.
They're angels.
UFOs,
They're angels.
not angels?
Good
No,
angels.
good angels. Bad
Good
for
angels.
Esau.
Really?
Yeah.
Good angels.
Good for us, bad for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
What?
Those are good. Those are good. Anytime you see a UFO,
Yeah.
then rejoice. You know, praise the Lord. They're righteous angels.
Yeah.
So how
Yeah.
come they abducted people really and did everything on the
Well, that's what they say. I don't know how true that is.
Well, people that's been through it, somebody that's
I mean, I never met somebody that was actually abducted. You know?
well, I met a couple of people actually that spoke about the same thing that they went through, the same experience that they went through. They woke up, but they have some type of
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how true that is.
me neither.
I don't know how true that is.
Mostly white people.
But it's mostly white people. Yeah.
That's incredible though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Go ahead, Ak. Where we at?
This is Psalm chapter 104, verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind.
Yep.
Yeah, in slavery, when the slaves used to sing that song, "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot,"
Right.
they were
They were
talking about.
UFOs.
Yeah, there weren't no plane. Yeah, there weren't no
Because they
planes
saw
back
them
then.
They saw them back there. They saw UFOs back in slavery. They saw UFOs back during the time of Alexander the Greek.
Yeah.
They got a. If you go to Google and you put history of the UFO sightings, it goes back to the time of the Egyptians. Oh, during the time when Israel was being delivered, it was UFOs that gave Moses the law. Give me that. Deuteronomy 33.
Oh wow. You just
If I may say, right, in the song, right? Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Right.
I look over the river Jordan, and what did I see coming for to carry me home? A band of angels.
Oh, that's what the aliens.
That's what's in those chariots.
It says swing low, sweet chariot.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, when they sung that song "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot," they said, "Come and pick me up."
Yeah.
Because they was in slavery, man. They was in slavery.
Yep.
You know?
From the first verse, Apostle?
What I say? Go.
Deuteronomy 33.
Yeah. Start from the top.
Okay, Deuteronomy 33 and 1. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of the Most High, blessed the children of Israel before his death. And he said, the Lord came from Sinai.
Did you ever see the Ten Commandments?
I watch it all the time.
Okay, who's the star of that movie? The old one. Charlton Heston, right?
Right.
Guess what? Moses was a black man.
Right.
Yeah, he wasn't white.
But you know what? Back when we were kids, the first time you saw it, you was a kid, right?
Right.
And you thought that was Moses, right?
Right.
Wow, that's Moses right there.
Right.
That ain't Moses. That's some cracker. That's some white man.
It's a counterfeit.
They should have had Sidney Poitier play Moses.
Right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? That's right.
right.
That's right. That's right.
That's
But
right.
back then we couldn't see that. If you told him, no, you know, brother, he's really black. Man, get the fuck out of here. You know, excuse my French. Get the hell out of here. But now that we have evolved,
Knowledge and the knowledge.
right, we see it now.
We got the
Lord,
truth.
the Lord, Jesus Christ. I don't even want to say that.
Yeah.
He's a black man. He's black.
Right.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
Right.
this religion nowadays confuse you.
No, definitely. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Let go and take away from the Bible. That's a sin also.
That's
The
right.
Bible
That's
take
right.
away.
That's right. That's right. Well, she said it. I didn't say it. She said it.
That's it.
You add and you take away. She said it, man. You know?
Deuteronomy 33 and 2.
Go ahead.
And he said, the Lord came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with
He
10.
shined forth, meaning he came in them ships, and them ships got lights to it. You know?
That's right.
Yeah. And he came with 10,000s of saints.
And the saints, the Israelites on the earth, like you would be a saint, I would be a saint. We all saints. The angels are also saints.
Yeah.
There's a scripture in Revelation 22, I believe it is, 21, 22, where the angel said, I'm a fellow brother of you.
Right.
The angel said we fellow brothers. When the angel come down and you go to worship that angel, the angel gonna say, no, don't worship you.
Right.
I'm a fellow brother.
Right.
Worship the Lord and the Messiah.
That's right.
You know?
Exactly. And it was funny that I have predictions in my dream.
Right.
Why did you not give me that gift?
Right.
But in my dream, I thought I'm gonna get it. There's fire all over the place. Now,
You know where
I
to go.
started running. The devil started running after me. He take me, right? I'm running from him. Guess who picked me up? That's a 12 disciples here. Jesus. So I may be saying I'm gonna have
Okay. Well, that's a vision. That's a vision.
I couldn't believe I heard that.
Well, I got a scripture for you. Matter of fact, I got to give you one in Joel,
Con.
give you one in Acts.
Con.
I got a scripture for you. Go ahead.
That's heavy.
And women get more visions than men
The
do.
men.
My wife, she always gets visions.
Yeah.
If I get a vision once every 10 years, that's a lot for me.
Wow.
Women always get visions, you know?
Wow.
Go ahead.
This is Joel chapter 3, verse 2. I will also gather all nations.
No, I don't want that one. I want two. Joel 2.
Yeah, 2 years.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is Joel chapter 2, verse.
I believe it.
I saw that too. A day of darkness and a day and of slack.
No, I want you to go right to the part where
The dreams.
the dream, like 18, 19 verse. As a matter of fact, it was reiterated in the book of Acts.
I got that one.
So read that one. Read that
All
one.
right, this is
When
on
you find
Acts
the spot.
chapter 2, verse 17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith
Start
the
at
Most
16.
High.
Start at 16.
All right, verse 16. But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel.
Joel. So we're going to read it in Joel. Go ahead, read it.
And it shall come to pass
29.
in the last days, saith the Most High, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy,
There you go.
and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams.
So you will be considered a daughter. Your sons and your daughters will prophesy. What does it mean to prophesy? It means to say something before it happens. So you just gave me, you just said you had a dream that you were lifted up, right? So that was a vision.
Yeah.
You just prophesied. You know what I'm saying? Now see, being that you're seeing us, you're gonna have a lot more visions.
Yeah, because I came out here, to be honest, I usually don't come to here, I usually go another route, but the Lord put me over here.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
Man's going to the Lord.
That's right. That's the spirit. Because you're an Israelite.
Yeah.
You're an Israelite. Man. And the Israelite, the word Israelite means prince of God. So you would be a princess of God. You got prince and princesses of God. Exactly. We're royal people, man. We're royal people.
People don't believe in demons, but demons are always after me because I'm trying to, Lord is calling me, and he's knocking on my door, and I'm asking him.
Right,
so when
right.
that happens, the demons don't want that. They're going to try to attack
Well, we go through that too.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
We go through that too.
Willpower.
Yeah, that's right.
There's
That's
a
right.
lot of evil stuff over here.
That's right. That's right.
Demons all over doing
That's
their
right.
job.
That's right. Now, being that you saw us, you're gonna see a lot more visions. The Most High gonna open up your. Yep. That's
Doing their
right.
job earlier, too.
Go ahead. Where
Yep.
we at?
We were talking.
Yeah,
Go
we're
ahead.
talking about
Go ahead.
this.
This is Joel chapter 2, verse 28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions.
That's all we need.
Con. And wasn't there one of those men in the book of Acts that had some daughters that prophesied?
Yeah.
I forgot how many.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but
Yeah.
that meant that those women were getting visions.
They were getting
And
busy.
they would tell it to their father.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
just like right now, you telling us about the vision that you
Yeah.
had. Yeah.
And I was 10 years old. I would never forget that dream.
Yeah.
It felt like so real. Like I
Right. Well, that was a vision. It wasn't a dream. It was a vision.
Con.
It was a
So
vision.
in other words, he told me that I'm going to heaven. In other words.
Of course.
Now you're not going to heaven. People think that one thing I don't swear to God. It's in the Bible. You're not supposed to swear
Right.
to God,
You're
to
right.
an animal.
That's right.
Oh, I swear to God, just to think I believe you.
Yep.
I don't believe in that. That is a very bad thing to swear to God.
Yeah.
I got the scripture for it.
That's right.
Apostle, I got
She
the
knows the
scripture for
scriptures because she's an Israelite.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
She's
the
an
Bible all
Israelite.
the time.
Yep.
Definitely.
I got a scripture for you. Matthew 5:34. But I say unto you, swear not at all, neither by heaven, for it is the Most High's throne, nor by earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil.
Right.
So that's the reason why you don't swear, because the Bible tells you not to swear.
Exactly. Why y'all put it back?
I got a precept.
Right, go ahead.
This is Numbers chapter 12, verse 6. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision.
By the way, that's the Heavenly Father's name, Yahweh.
Yeah, exactly. So Jehovah, right?
No,
Well,
Yahweh.
there's no J in the Hebrew.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah,
J in the Hebrew.
Exactly.
In English, it would be Jehovah, but in Hebrew, it would be Yahweh.
Yeah, that's Hebrew.
Yahweh.
Yeah.
Let me just worship. Now, I don't doubt religion.
Well, the Muslims are Israelites too. They're our people too, but they're worshiping a different God. That's the only thing.
Right, and that's the sin.
That's true. That's true. That's
There
true.
you go.
That's
That's
true.
right.
They're gonna come back to worship the true God in time. Yeah,
It says the mountains cannot hide from nowhere when he comes.
that's right. That's right.
Right,
That's right.
The believers, not believers, are going to see it. They're going to see it. And when he comes,
Every
he's
eye.
going to take his people and leave the clouds.
That's right. Well, give me that Revelation 11. Revelation 11. Quick.
You know who his people are? The elect.
Yes.
The elect of the nation of Israel.
Yes, that's right. That's
So
right.
this truth is not for everybody.
No, it's not.
It's only for a certain group, certain few. So you might be one of those people. That's why you had that vision.
Yeah, I believe it because I did a
You said you had that vision when you was 10 years old. Okay, well that's the Most High got. He gave you a ticket.
Yeah.
He gave you a ticket.
And then
That
all
means
these.
you're gonna make
I'm
it.
sorry.
You know?
Yeah, and then all these years
And
later.
even if you don't make it, you're gonna make it anyway.
Yeah.
You're gonna come back in the kingdom anyway.
Yeah, and then
Let's
all
say
these
you
years.
let's say you make it and
Gone.
somebody else that's close you don't make it. Guess what? They're gonna make it too. They're gonna make all of us are gonna make it. You know?
Eventually, yeah.
it's going to happen.
Go to heaven, yeah.
Yeah, go to the kingdom. Yeah.
Oh, he said hell, man.
Well, there's no such thing as hell.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as hell. You know, this is hell. This is
Right,
hell.
that's it.
Hell is a condition on earth, and it's
Yep.
also a grave.
Slavery.
Yeah. Now, you know how Hitler's gonna go to hell when he comes back. When he
Yeah.
comes back among us, we're gonna beat the shit out of him.
It's going to be in slavery.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna be in a pit of fire for eternity.
Yeah, well,
No,
that's
no,
right.
no.
Well, yeah, well, he
Something
gonna
like
be,
that.
yeah, he gonna be in these fires right here. When I kicking his ass, that's that fire.
That was a mean
Yeah, it was an evil person. Yep, that's right. That's right. Go ahead.
This is Revelation 11 and 4 and 12. And
Start at
they,
11.
all right,
Start
11
at
and
8.
11.
Start at 8.
Start at 8. Revelation 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
This is the great city.
right. Yeah.
America, Babylon the Great. This is, thank you. This is Babylon. This right here is Babylon. Go ahead.
Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. Why is this place called Sodom and Egypt? You know about Sodom and Gomorrah?
Right, what happened back there?
What happened in Sodom and Gomorrah?
Was it was
It was a whole lot of homosexuality going on.
yes, the shit that's going on now.
Come on, see?
And she got
I
talk.
started saying that she
She
finished.
And
finished,
she
Yeah.
finishes it. Yeah, yeah.
She said the shit that's going on right now.
Yeah.
We had this one gentleman
Yeah,
come
yeah.
up to Irish man. Well, it's nothing wrong with a man laying with another man.
Yeah, he trying to.
So he said, I don't do that. I said, well, wait a minute.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if they love each other, I said, well, what if you wake up and somebody's sucking your thing and it's a man? Are you gonna be mad? Well, I'm not into that. Well, but he's into it.
Yeah.
He loves you. You might not love him, but he loves you.
Not only that, God made Adam and Steve, not Adam and Steve.
That's right.
There you go.
That's
right.
That's right. But with
That's
Esau,
it.
which is a so-called white man, all right,
It's normal for
he
him.
says it's all right. He
Yeah.
says it's all right
It's
for a man.
not right. Okay, why? Because that's his preference. But in God's eyes,
But now in the kingdom, is it going to be his preference?
Oh,
no, it's
no.
not. He gonna get his ass whipped.
that's
right.
Somebody give me
Hey, the same thing with a woman.
Psalms 2 and 8. Psalms 2
women.
and 8.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Understand that, but hey,
But
I
that's
hear
their nature. That's their nature. you know?
I hear you.
look at the way we live in it, though. Like you said.
But our people do it too. Our people do that too. They get into that homosexual.
Yeah.
You know why? Because
Oh.
they're following the devil.
Yep.
There you go.
And you know what's going to happen to them? They're going to be put to death. Then they're going to have to come back right.
Yes. Yeah. That's
Go ahead.
right.
Psalms chapter 2, verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
The
Thou
heathen
shalt,
represent the lands and the people that's on them lands.
Right.
So the Lord, our Lord, is going to get what? He going to have slaves. And guess what? We're going to have slaves too.
Right.
And those slaves are going to be of the other nations. Go ahead.
thou shalt break them with a rod of iron.
So that's going to be in the kingdom, right?
Yeah.
What are we going to, is there going to be ass whippings in the kingdom? We just read it.
Yes, they are.
People going to get their asses beat in the
That's right.
kingdom.
And it
Come.
wasn't supposed to be like that. It was supposed to be God made the world to be But after
Well, that's
Adam
gonna
did
happen
that,
too.
yeah.
That's gonna happen
Oh
too.
no, it's gonna continue.
You know what's gonna happen in the kingdom? Give me that in Isaiah 11, where it said the lamb shall lie down with the bear and all that. In the kingdom of heaven, when you have children, you can let your children, as a toddler, go off. You don't got to take care of them,
Right.
and he can go where animals are at.
Right.
And guess
And
what?
like that
The animals are not gonna bite it.
At all. But because it's
And that's
Adam-
huh?
because Adam and Eve, now we can't do that. We got to you know? So now you
During the time of Adam and Eve, as you say, the Most High gave them the animals, right? And Adam named the animals, and he said, "I will put in the animals the fear and the dread."
Yep.
Back then, if a lion saw Adam, the lion would back up.
back up.
Any animal would back up from
Right.
Adam. So it's gonna happen in the kingdom again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have a little baby, a toddler, you can let the toddler
let it
go.
go,
Let it
definitely.
go. He can go as far as he wants. He gonna be protected, man.
Another thing
Now that's what Esau wants. He ain't gonna get it though.
Exactly. Another thing that I was saying that it's like Adam and Eve were naked back in the days, right?
You know what it means by naked? It means that they didn't have the knowledge. That's
Okay.
all it meant.
Right. I figured that because
That's all it
sometimes
meant.
when you read the Bible, sometimes you don't understand the meaning of it.
That's it.
There you
They
go.
wasn't physically naked.
No.
They didn't have the knowledge.
So that means when they ate the apple, God
And they didn't even
realized-
eat no apple.
There was
they
no
ate a
apple.
tree.
It was
I mean,
philosophy.
excuse me.
Right, but
They
the
learned
tree
the knowledge.
represented knowledge.
Knowledge.
The knowledge of the devil. That's all it.
Exactly. So when the devil saw him,
That's why they got pushed out of the garden.
Right.
See?
And they realized that they were, like you said, like the nakedness.
They realized that they sinned.
Right. And
Yep,
God
that's
saw
it,
that
that's
by
it.
the way. You saw that by the way, right? You
Of
felt it.
course. Yeah.
God.
That's why he was hiding from the Father. When the
Wow.
Lord came by, he was hiding because he
Yeah.
knew that he committed sin.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
I
we-
used to be terrified.
11.
And you know what? We talk about in the Bible. When I started reading the Bible, I got Bible studies when I was 10, always I was 21.
Okay.
So that's why I was looking for the Bible.
Right.
But when I read that the child cards, those are supposed to the Lord, to the unknown.
Right. The Lord. Yeah.
You don't know.
Yep, that's right, that's
why
right.
you invite demons in.
That's
Yeah,
it.
them tarot
That's
cards,
it.
yeah.
You understand?
That's it.
The Ouija boards and all that.
That's
Ouija
it.
board,
That's
yeah.
it. The Ouija board, she said, the Ouija board, what does it do? You play with the Ouija board, it opens you up to demons.
Right.
It opens up your spirit.
It's called divination. Yeah, we're reading about that earlier. It's called
We went into that earlier.
yeah, divination.
Where am I at?
Isaiah 11. Yep.
Isaiah 11. That's it? Yeah, Isaiah 11.
Oh, how much will be here?
We get ready to leave in a little while.
Oh man,
You know?
so where you out like that's somewhere?
We might be here next week. We might be somewhere else, you know?
My husband's calling like crazy. He wants scorpions.
All right, go home. Take care of your husband.
All right.
All right,
Take
sister.
care.
All right.
All right, sister. Take care.
All right, sister.
Okay, God, that's coming right there. Yeah, I'm coming up right now. I'm coming up right now.
Let's go.
This is Isaiah chapter 11, verse. I'm gonna get straight to the point. Verse 6. It says, "The wolf also shall dwell with the
I
lamb,
can come back down.
and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them.
Sorry, I got it. I can't.
And the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. And the
The
suck,
lion shall eat straw like the ox, meaning the lion's going to become a vegetarian. A lion is not going to eat
No, me, a person.
they're going
Right.
to come back to being a vegetarian.
Right.
Yep, go ahead.
it says, and the sucking child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned
What's
child.
the suckling child? The child that sucks on his mother's breast.
Right.
Baby.
That means an infant. So
Right.
you can let the infant go out as far as he wants. He all right.
A 1-year-old. Exactly.
A 6 month old.
To the animal, they
Exactly.
will eat them, that.
Exactly. So we're great people. We're great people.
We are. We sure is.
That's it.
But
Go ahead.
for the, if I may say, for that kingdom to come, this kingdom got to be destroyed.
No,
Yeah,
that's
did you-
not
yeah.
it. Right. So let me ask you. I'm getting this about 7 years, right? So like that, I'm getting.
That's what they.
That's-
Armageddon is gonna come when it comes. People are gonna be walking around, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the sky's gonna open up, the missiles
Right.
are gonna
The
come, the
guns
fire's
will
gonna
go,
come
the movement will
down.
change
So we don't
life.
know that time. That's why you gotta stay right.
Prepare, exactly.
You gotta stay right.
Nobody knows the time and hour that he's coming.
Thank you.
Nobody.
There you go.
I don't
There
care
you
if
go.
you're
That's what the
psychic.
Bible says.
That's
Nobody.
right. That's right.
The only
That's
one,
right.
not even Jesus knows.
Come on, she knows. She knows.
I got a precept real
And that's
quick.
all in the scriptures. Go
This
ahead.
is Revelation 21, verse 1. It says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away,
Passed
That's
away.
talking about this
Right.
this place. Yeah.
Right.
and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power.
That's it. That's it.
So, that's the, I would like to know. So they're gonna rebuild the temple of Jerusalem, right?
Say again, I didn't hear you.
They're supposed to rebuild the temple of Jerusalem.
Well, no, the temple is this right here. When you,
Oh, this right here?
when we, the temple are people. Each of us represent a brick. You a brick, he's a brick, he's a brick. The temple is a people.
Right.
It's a spiritual, our temple, yeah. The temple
Gotcha.
of us all coming together. It's not going to be a physical temple where you got stairs in the
No, I thought
windows.
it was Israel.
The last two, the first temple built by Solomon was built by hand.
Right.
The second one was built by hand.
Right.
The third one, because they're looking, where's the new, when they going to start building the new temple? The new temple is right here. You see? It's us. We're the new temple.
I got-
Esau can never understand that, man.
There.
They're looking for a physical temple. The physical temple is being built and they're trying to tear it down.
That's right.
You know?
Right.
I got a scripture. I got a scripture.
You got a scripture. Let me read that scripture.
1 Corinthians 3 and 9. For we are laborers together with God. Ye are God's husbandry. Ye are God's building.
Boom.
Oh, give me Amos 9.
So we're
Give
the
me
temple.
Give me Amos 9.
Temple is.
This is the temple. See,
You got it, Amos?
you guys are supposed to
Somebody got that?
Good.
all the complicated your body to-
You want to, you got it?
Let me ask you a question. You eat pork?
You-
Good.
you
Good.
know
Good
why?
answer. Good answer.
Because that's the dirtiest animal there is.
No, thank you. Thank
Right
you.
about that.
That's good. That's good. You eat shrimp? You eat shrimp?
I'll be honest, once in a blue, that's not
You know what?
yeah.
That's guess what? Shrimp are the pigs in the sea.
You know, yeah, because they eat up everything.
They eat the shit. Why would you eat something that eats shit?
Exactly. You absolutely right, man. It might look good, because you know, because they're cooking all that, but in reality, those things you don't know they can be contaminated. You don't know
They're
how much
contained. They're contained. That's why. Look. Go to any hospital in New York City, anywhere. When you go up in that hospital emergency room, what do you see? A lot of people that are sick. From what? From food. They're eating the wrong food. They're eating the wrong food.
That's right. Oh, I got one more.
98% of the people in the emergency room are in there because they ate something wrong.
Yeah.
Well, not food poisoning, but they were eating the wrong food, the unlawful food.
Right,
All right?
Get cancer and all that.
Getting cancer. Yep.
Yeah,
Where
this
we at?
one more about the temple. I got one more.
Okay.
1 Corinthians 3 and 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?
May I read this one?
We're the
Pastor?
temple.
So the third temple is us, the people.
Okay.
It's us.
Now, one more question. That thing about left behind, is that true that actually God's gonna take you people and they're just gonna the kids from disappear like before Armageddon?
That's gonna happen when the missiles come.
Right.
It's gonna happen simultaneous when the missiles come. That's why I said go back to Revelation. Go to the point.
Yeah, Psalm
Go to the
91.
I always wanted to know if that was true. Like I really
It is true, but it's
not
gonna
the way
happen.
they say like
It's gonna happen when the missiles come, the fire comes. That's when the people are gonna be delivered.
Mist is gonna come.
Missiles gonna come.
I think that's
When the
what
scriptures
Trump-
speak about the Most High bringing fire,
Yeah.
it's coming in the form of missiles.
So I think Trump is gonna be second Trump, and I think he's gonna
Oh
be-
yeah, he has to. He has to.
I think he's the
He
one.
has to.
That's
That's what I'm waiting for. He has to.
Yeah.
You know.
Can I read this precept
Go
for you?
ahead. Go ahead.
The book of Matthew 24 and 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
That's our Lord. Go ahead.
And then shall all the tribes of the earth moan. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Right.
And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall
Now the
get.
angels are going to be in what you call UFOs.
Yeah, that's crazy. What they
For us to be delivered, how are we going to be delivered? You have to have something that we're going to be delivered in.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
That's right. That's right.
And another thing, do you ever heard? I have on YouTube. I watched so much about the seven great signs of the last coming up. People have heard trumpets. Like,
Oh yeah. That's all. Yeah, that's all in Revelation.
So I think
When the seventh trumpet is blown, That's when this place is finished.
Yep.
So, but there's 6 trumpets already, no, right?
We're in. Well, give me that in Job.
Yeah,
Job,
yeah.
Job 5:19.
Yeah.
519, yeah.
You said six
Yeah,
trumpets.
6 trumpets already
Okay.
blown.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna read you a scripture.
That is so scary. Oh my
Job,
We're in between the 6 and the 7.
Yes.
We got to be out of here before the 7 hit.
Before the 7.
Okay. Now this is what Job said.
Job 5:19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee.
Because we got to get out of here before the 7th trumpet
Yeah,
is
because
blown.
oh, hell's a great news up here.
Thank you. Where we at?
Can I finish this verse?
Go ahead.
Matthew 24:31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect
Israelites.
from
Right.
the 4 winds and
Okay,
from one end of heaven to the other.
Uh-huh. The 4 corners of earth. What can you the 4 corners of earth?
West, north, west, east, and
North
south.
and south. Okay.
Yep.
All right. And it says the 7, the devil got 7 horns with 7 nations.
That goes into some.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
Next time, that goes into a whole. Yeah. No, but that's a good question.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is, right?
That shows you that she knows the scripture.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
she
let me
knows.
tell you something. I try to speak to people know that I'm lost because without God, you're lost. And a lot of people
Absolutely.
that is lost.
Thank you.
They don't know about God. And I come to that kind of preach to the people, they don't want to hear it.
That's it.
So all I do is okay. I'm not asking. I know it. I study.
Yeah.
That's
it.
And just to a of God, we all are. But just to the God that I like it, like you said.
That's
So
right.
you know what? I wasn't gonna have it. I'm not trying to be here.
Where you gonna go?
I
You
know
already
I'm
got.
gonna go.
You got the ticket when you were 10 years old.
Yes. And I'm not. I still stand here and there, but you know because of that.
Oh, go Romans 7. Give me Romans 7. You just said I still sin here and there. Well, guess what? I still sin here and there.
Yeah, we all do.
Okay? But there's a reason why you do it. Go ahead, read that. Go right to the point. This is the Apostle Paul.
I got it. This is Romans 7, verse 15. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that do I not. But what I hate, that I do.
Paul said, for what I hate, that I do. What do you hate? You hate sin.
Yes.
He said, for what I hate, that I do.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 18. It says, for I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not.
Go ahead.
For the good that I would do, for the good that I would do, it's tricky. For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do.
Meaning it's sin. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
Now if I do that, I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in
You
me.
know why you do it? Because the sin is in you.
Right.
It's in you.
Right.
Because the Most High is going to make us perfect. We're not
Change
perfect.
us.
The Most High is going to make us perfect.
Yeah.
All right?
And it's funny
So don't
how
worry about that. You know what you do? You commit a sin. You ask the Most High
God
to
can
forgive
forgive
you.
me, right.
And, you know?
Keep on moving.
And then the next day you commit a sin. You go back to the Lord.
Right.
Oh, Lord, forgive me.
But that's
Keep on moving.
I'm a sin. And I'm keep on struggling. That's not, you know.
Oh, no. You that's, well, this certain, yeah, that's
Tempting
a
the
no-no.
Lord. Tempting the Lord.
He knows your heart. He knows your heart.
Right.
There's another scripture that says, what is it? Charity covers a multitude of sin.
That's right.
You know what that means? That means if, let's say you see somebody that needs some money, if Joe you give him $1. You don't have it all the time. Give him $1. Guess what? Whatever sin that you committed a week ago, the Most High forgive you on that.
Wow.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Anytime you help somebody,
Yeah.
charity, meaning love, covers a multitude of sins.
Right.
That's it.
So do the right thing with people.
That's
You know?
That's it.
Because
That's
you
it.
get rewarded for that.
Exactly.
Big time.
Exactly.
That's right.
And I stopped giving though. You know why? Because I give. The moment I give, that person happens just to live. So you know what? So I said, God, forgive me because I gave him $1, but he's gonna understand why I didn't give it to him.
Right.
You know?
But if you don't know what the person's gonna do, you give it to him, and then you gotta know who you give it to. You know?
There you go.
Yep.
And
Now
when
do
that
us good.
time-
When thou doest good, yeah.
Yep.
Well, you know what? God bless everybody, okay?
All right,
All
sister.
right, you too.
All right, sister. All right.
Same with you.
All right. Take care now.
Take care.
All right.
Be safe.
In those ships,
And when the ships come,
Yeah,
Then-
Revelation 11.
I got Psalm 51 also.
when you see the ships,
Yeah.
This is Revelation 11, verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven unto them, saying unto them, come up hither, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
Oh, enemies. Who are the
Let me
enemies?
get that.
Who are the enemies?
All the other nations.
Esau,
And the
number one in the other nations.
Con.
Not just the so-called Jews, but all them other nations, man. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, of her plagues.
Now, back in the day, Warren West, they used to say that you got to leave America before the missiles come. You got to get your passport. That's what they used to teach. Get your passports,
Oh, yeah.
because we're going to have to get on airliners and get out of here before the Most High destroy this place. But then, with the Spirit, the whole thing, UFOs came out through Yeshaya and Kazak, you know?
Yep. Hey, the truth evolved.
The truth evolved.
You know, because it
And
started.
there's a lot of things that we teach now that wasn't being taught back then, or things that Ariana and them went off on, man.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Have a good night.
One more. This is Isaiah chapter 26, verse 20.
So they know that we're spiritual people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny. Like earlier, we were dealing with the demon part, and now it's like the other
That's
opposite.
right. Go ahead.
She might get blessed just for that.
Yeah. Somebody's wife.
Isaiah
And
chapter
amen means so be it.
So be it.
So be it. You know.
So she's in harmony with what's going on down
That's
there.
it.
What's going on here?
And she didn't even hear.
People know that you're spiritual.
God.
There's something spiritual about animals too.
Yeah.
They see the spirit on you. You know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 26, verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed.
That's it. And the indignation is the righteous anger of the Lord. Because when that time comes, the Lord is going to unleash his fury. He's not going to hold back. So, you know, it behooves, I mean, the elect are going to do it, but it behooves Jake to try to get in the Most High's good graces while there's still time.
And the only ones that can do that is the elect.
That's right.
That's the seriousness of this message. This truth is only for the elect.
Yep.
The elect of the nation of Israel. It's
And
a
that's
small
why you
number.
got Jake. Hey, there's Jakes out there in the Kemet and Moors and Islam,
they're not part of the elect.
Baptist, Methodist, Jehovah's Witness, and Roman Catholic, and atheists, and all this other nonsense, because the Most High didn't open up this spirit.
Yeah. I got a precept for you, Apostle. Romans 11:7 says, what then Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. I mean, you can't get more plainer than that, man. You know, like you other Israelite groups, you talking about, we got to raise the nation, build a nation. Most High ain't dealing with the nation. The Most High is dealing with the elect of the nation.
That's it.
That's why we tell you we got 100% truth, man.
Bottom line.
You know, you guys, your other groups, you're talking about, we got to build a nation. And a lot of you, the only reason you're saying that, because you know more heads equal more money. So your motivation is money. Your motivation ain't the pure truth. The pure truth is the Lord is going to save the elect of the nation of Israel, man.
Yep.
That's the
Most High
pure
coming
truth.
for a remnant.
That's it.
And it's a
Remnant
small
means
number.
a part of a whole thing.
Yeah, and it's
You
a
take
small
a
number.
damn pie, you cut a piece out of it, that's a remnant of the pie, man.
That's it.
They're talking about the whole nation.
Yeah.
The whole nation gonna come back to us.
Yeah, through the elect.
Give me that in the Amos 9. Sifting of Israel.
Book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 9. It says, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations. Like as a corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
God said, I shall sift the house of Israel from among the nations. So that show you that Israel looked like everybody on the planet Earth.
Yeah, that's right.
And you had them brothers from ICUK talking about, you a Hamite. You from Ghana, you a Hamite. You don't have to be a Hamite.
Yeah.
He could be an Israelite.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's that ignorance, you know, of this.
Closed-mindedness.
Yeah, your world being this.
No, they see it now. They see it now. Trust me. All the videos that we have made about Hamish, about West Africans, they see it now.
Con.
You know, Captain Cesario sees it fully, man. Because they starting to teach it, you know? Because if you do a DNA test, you're gonna most likely go back to somewhere in West Africa.
Yep.
And you can be somewhere. In the documentary African American Lives,
Yeah.
they did Oprah, and Oprah said, "Yeah, I'm a Mandinka. I'm a Mandinka." Then they did a the DNA thing, and they said, you know, your line goes back to Europe. So she got bugged out. How
Yep.
the fuck? Because Jake was all up in Europe,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Jake don't
Yeah.
even understand that.
Yeah.
Yep. There was
Yeah.
another chick they did the DNA, and she was like, "You mean to tell me I'm white? No. You know, you have Jake, like you said, all throughout Europe, man.
That's right.
You know, you had
They
Jake.
don't know the history. Jake
Yeah.
don't know the history.
Yep.
Hey, that's why we got to start doing more videos on the icon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Con.
Because Jake don't know. Jake think they know, man.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah, we was all up in Scotland, Ireland,
yeah.
Wales, Portugal, Spain.
Yep.
You name it, we were there.
Yeah.
All in
All
throughout
throughout
India.
China.
Yeah,
All throughout Pakistan.
Pakistan. Yeah. India.
India.
was that country
Assyria. There's a
artist?
lot of Ephraimites up there in Assyria, man.
Yep. Northern Africa.
Was that country artist? I think his name was Hank Snow. I've been everywhere, man.
Oh, yeah.
I've been everywhere, man. Through the desert. That's us, man. We've been everywhere.
Didn't Johnny Cash do a remake of it?
I think, yeah. That was a famous
'cause I
song.
remember, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he did do it, yeah. Johnny
Let's
Cash
see if
did
I'm
do a
right.
remake.
Hank Snow.
With Johnny Cash is the Israelite, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I believe so was Hank Snow. A lot of those country
Well,
artists.
a lot of them, most of them, what do you mean a lot of them? Most of them, man.
They were
This
jakes.
is a lot of them. Go ahead, read your piece up.
Whole heap
Ezekiel
of them.
chapter 36, it's like at 34, verse 16 and 17. It says, I will seek that which
Hmm.
was lost and bring again that which was driven away,
The lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Stop it.
and will bind up that which was broken, and will strengthen that which was sick. But I will destroy the fat and the strong. I will feed them with judgment. And as for you, O my flock, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, behold, I will judge between cattle and cattle, between the rams and the he-goats.
Yeah, because the Lord is the one, he's sifting with his word. The word is doing the sifting. That's why the ones that look like the other nations that are part of the elect are being drawn to this.
That's right.
You know,
My
it's the
sheep
word.
hear my voice.
Ooh, stop it. Oh, this side.
Other sheep will not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get ready to close. Give me Daniel 7 verse 18, and we're gonna read down.
Book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High, Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was driven from all the others, which was diverse, from all the others.
Yeah, the fourth beast started as the Roman Empire and ended up as NATO, EU, which America's part of NATO. Go ahead.
Exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass,
Go ahead.
which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom we fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things.
That's America. And the 3 horns that fell was French, English, and Spain. Go ahead.
Whose look was more stout than his fellows.
Yeah, the American Edomite think they're better than the other Edomites. So ultimately, they're gonna shoot missiles on America too. Go ahead.
I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints.
Oh, I was watching it. I went to Google and I put in history of rebellions. Man, man, there's so many. I mean, they break it up into years and decades. Man. They even give me when the Babylonians came to power, that there was a war against. I think it was the Medes that joined forces with the Babylonians to bring down the Assyrians. But then the Medes brought down the Babylonians. The Persians and the Medes brought down the Babylonians. So I was looking through the list, and they actually mentioned the Maccabees.
Oh, check
So when
that
you
out.
say, well, the Maccabees never exist, that's
Right.
you know, fairy tales,
Yeah.
And most of them, a lot of those wars during the Byzantine Empire was against Israelites against the Byzantine Empire. Okay,
says,
go ahead.
verse 21, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them.
How did they do that? Can anybody help me out? How did they do that?
When they came over here and attacked Gad. And
Is that Gad? And then they went over here and got us from Africa.
Right.
Africa, yeah.
That's what happened, man.
Yeah.
But Esau gonna jump up. See, do you hate Jews?
Yeah.
First of all, they're not. The question, the answer, the response would be, first of all, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right.
You mean I hate my health? No, I don't hate myself. You know?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking about no, they're not Jews. They're Edomites.
Right.
You got to learn your name, man. You're Edomites.
Oh, yeah.
Esau doesn't. They don't want to touch Esau.
Yeah.
That's
they
like a
don't.
hot potato to them.
Kind of. Oh, like the video you did with that Edomite talking about the Arabs and all them are Edomites.
Oh, the recent one I did?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a re-upload from the brother.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh?
Verse 22,
Well, he said that the slave trade goes far back than the 1500s.
Right.
It goes during the time of the 14th. When Esau came into power in the late 13 and 1400s, that's when they set up the slave thing. And the Arabs are already doing it, man.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, he
And
mentioned
they
it.
showed you that in that movie, Gladiator. Where they were putting in the gladiators were slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't say, well, you know what, Dad, I want to grow up to be a great guy. No, you was a slave that looked kind of strong. They said, man, I'm going to take this slave of mine and make a lot of money. I'm going to make him a damn gladiator, man.
Right.
And then you would win your slavery. If you were a great fighter,
When you're
the,
free.
the Caesar would give you a sword, a wooden sword, and that represented your freedom. And then some of them slaves became noblemen, you know?
Hey, Esau used to do that in slavery with Jake. They have Jake fighting against each other.
That's it. Huh?
You know, it showed you that. What was that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Django.
Django. Yep.
The Django.
The Django.
The Django. Go ahead.
until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High.
Judgment was given to who? The saints of the Most High.
Right. Which are Israelites.
The Most High said, I'm not going to judge. I'm going to give it to my saints, these Israelites. And you're going to be able to kick people's asses.
That's right. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom.
That's right.
Thus he
Because
said,
what kingdom are we in now? Esau's kingdom, right? Our kingdom can't be set up unless there's a kingdom to take its place.
That's it.
You have one champion. Well, you used to have one champion. In boxing, the guy that becomes the next champion, he can't become champion unless he beats the old
Defeats
champion.
the other guy.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So he defeats the other guy.
Yeah.
So you can't have two kingdoms ruling at the same time, man. And you know what I found out? That really America is really over the whole planet Earth, and that all these different states are vassal states. That's why when you go back to the petrodollar, the world reserve currency, the reason why they said that was after World War II. The guy that was sitting on the throne before America was Great Britain. After World War II, and they said we defeated everybody, that you're gonna follow, you're gonna go by our dollar, the world reserve currency. So what that make them other nations? Vassal states. So they're getting tired. That's why they're making all them unions. So we don't want to be vassal states no more.
Right.
Oh man.
Now when you read that history of revolution, most of the revolutions were by slaves attacking the monarchy. Also in that list is Spartacus. And they tell you that Spartacus was a gladiator that escaped from his master, and a bunch of other slave gladiator fighters escaped with him, and they got so many slaves, ex-gladiators together, that they said, we're going to take down the Roman Empire. But the Roman Empire kicked their ass. You know?
Yeah, I was reading. I saw.
And that's a true story.
Right. I saw an article, something about, I don't know if it was an Arab nations. They're coming together to trade in gold or something like that.
You're talking about during the time of Gaddafi?
Well, no, this is recently.
Okay.
You know, I can't remember, but I think it was on Russia TV, RT, and they were saying that that they're using the gold standard to hedge against, you know.
Well, China has so many
I wish I could remember
tons
that.
of gold. The Russians have so many tons of gold, and they're all talking about creating new dollars. But they're going to it's going to be backed by gold. Because the gold standard is coming back.
Right. Yep.
The gold standard is coming back because fiat money, which is paper money, All of them. When you go into the history of fiat money, they all go to zero, meaning they at a point the shit ain't worth nothing. Gold always has value to it, man.
I got a scripture, Apostle.
All right, we
This-
don't get ready to close.
This
Never-
is
it never loses
Ecclesiasticus.
its value.
Never loses its value. Yep.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is
How did
translated.
this man become rich? Through deceit.
Yep.
They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about how they got. How'd you get over here? Oh, Christopher Columbus discovered. How the fuck you gonna discover something when people were already over here, man?
Yep.
And what was the first act that you did? You brought 500 of them back to Spain and said, "Oh, these will be good slaves." What kind of Christian in the name of Christianity?
Yeah.
You said what he said with 500 men
For
or
500, I
yeah.
think with 500. Well, 50.
50 men, 50 men, yeah.
50 men. But then it became 500. Then it became thousands. And then they had later brought Jake over here. But in the name of Christianity now, in the
Yeah.
name of Christianity,
That plantation Christianity.
It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
so who's in power now?
Esau.
Lamentation 4 tell you that. All right. Who's going to be in power next?
Jacob.
Jacob.
That's right.
So
All right, go ahead.
This is Job chapter 20, verse 15. He had swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua shall cast them out of his belly.
You know what? Start at like the 5th verse.
This is Job chapter 20, verse 5. That the tribe, I started 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short?
Who's the wicked?
Esau.
How you prove that? Malachi.
Malachi.
Who's Esau today? We all know who he is. Go ahead.
And the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment, though his excellency mount up to the heaven, and his head reach unto the clouds.
Yeah, his excellent, like the space program, he got that's up there in the heavens. So though his excellency mount up to the heavens, who the hell is that talking about? You know?
And what's that all about?
Yeah, vocab. Go ahead, bro.
Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They
He'll be
which,
flushed down the toilet. Go ahead.
they which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream,
It's a dream.
and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
That's right.
The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him.
Yep. Which his place is what? Rulership. So he's never going to rule anymore. Once he's brought down, once the Heavenly Father destroys his society, he's never going to rule anymore. Go ahead, bro.
His children shall seek to please the poor,
Yep.
and his hands shall restore their goods.
Yeah. Like a good example of that, you got the top banquet families, all the gold and silver that they got. That's going to be transferred to us
yeah, 'cause they stole it.
because they stole it.
Like they still got the all the treasuries from the temple in their possessions that the Romans stole.
Give that to that woman. That's he's an Edomite. Give him my money back.
It says, his bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare
I
it
guess she's not an Edomite.
and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat and his bowels is turned.
Yeah, that's a metaphor for his philosophy, his lies, and he's being exposed.
Jake, yeah.
She took it.
Yeah, she took it. Yeah, she said thank you. She said she wanted to get inside the hospital.
And,
I said, I don't know what the hospital.
Harlem Hospital, that's up the block.
Way the hell up.
Yeah.
I mean, call it
Now
ambulance.
that's why you got police, man.
Yeah, where the
Police don't give a fuck. Hey, like this guy, Podolsky,
Yeah, yeah.
doctor in San Francisco.
Yeah.
The lady screaming and shit, the cops going into.
Oh yeah,
buildings
yeah, they didn't
and
give a
whatnot.
shit.
They don't give a shit, man. But this is a righteous society.
Yeah, man.
Your society's going down sooner than you think.
That's it.
Go ahead. This 2020 might be the year.
Might be the year, yeah.
Yeah, how much I said he beheld Satan as lightning fall from the sky.
And he said that more than 2,000 years ago. So
Yeah.
how much more? We're in the twilight of that time. Satan falling is lightly. And it ain't, look, 1 hour, bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna, when the Howard Shai comes, it's only going to take him 1 hour to. You know how fast an hour goes? So that's some mega ass whooping, man.
It's cold out here too, brother.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
with that woman, man,
that's
she's gonna be out here 3 in the morning by herself,
that's fucked up.
and she might pass away. But then again, she'll be blessed.
Yeah, she'll be out of that body.
Yeah.
She won't be suffering anymore.
The
gotta-
hospital's gonna be accepting these people and these, downtrodden people, man. They said,
Nah.
man, we ain't spending all this money on you.
Yeah, they're all about money.
If you don't have insurance, that's it.
But this is a righteous society,
The
though.
first thing they hit you with is paperwork. Yeah. And that's why they no longer. Back in the day, they call it hospitals. They don't call it hospitals no more. You know why? What does the word hospital mean? We're taking you in for free.
Yeah, hospitality.
Hospitality means free.
Yeah,
They said we got to change the name, man.
yeah, because they're a business.
It's a business. It's always a business.
It's a business.
Oh, your big business.
The first thing they ask you, do you have any insurance?
Oh, the
That is-
first thing they ask you, boy, are you working?
yeah,
And they're hoping that you say no. They want you to say no because then it's easy and you get the money faster.
Right.
You know? Go ahead.
It says, verse 14, yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of ass within him.
yeah, that's his philosophy. His meat, that's a metaphor for his philosophy. His lies, like democracy. Basically, anything that comes out of this devil's mouth is a lie, man. That's all he does is lie.
You
John
lied
8,
on us. You lied on us.
That's all he does.
John 8:44. He is of his father, the devil.
And Yahweh Shai said he is the father of it, the father of lies. Because let's go back to Cain. What did Cain? Cain lied to the heavenly Father.
Well,
Heavenly,
he killed his brother. He rose up and killed his brother. Then he lied to the father.
he lied to the father. Asked him, "Where's your brother?" He said, "I don't know. He just finished killed him. Am I my brother's keeper?" And then you go back to the serpent. The serpent lied to Eve. The serpent told Eve, "No, you ain't gonna die. You're gonna be as gods." Which that part is true. To be a true God, you got to know both sides.
Right.
But we did die. When we took on the knowledge of wickedness, that's what the Apostle Paul said that. After sin is conceived, it bringeth forth what? Death. So the serpent lied, man. The serpent's a liar.
Wages of sin is death.
The wages of sin is death.
Yeah, the people lived almost 1,000 years back then, but after they
sinned.
they fell off, they sinned.
They broke the law of the Heavenly Father.
Then their time span started getting cut down
There you go.
significantly to what you got now,
Hey,
70
bottom
to 80
line,
years.
man, you Edomites, you're gonna be on the bottom, man.
That's it.
You're gonna be on. This is your last hurrah. You're gonna be on the bottom. You're gonna be a nobody. You're a nobody right now, but you got the world thinking that you were somebody.
Yeah.
That guy was a somebody.
Master
You're gonna
illusionist.
find out that we are somebody,
And you a
and
nobody.
you a nobody.
Nobody.
And training day, he killed the guy. He didn't realize that guy was a somebody. We're a somebody.
You know that group Human Beings? Was it late 60s? They had that song. No, nobody but me. No, nobody. No, nobody. And that's you, Esau. A nobody.
We're somebody, and you're a nobody.
Like that Beatles, he's a real nowhere man. That's you, Esau. You're a nowhere man. Sitting in his nowhere land, making for nobody. You know, it's the Beatles. Yeah, please listen. You don't know what you're missing.
Go ahead.
That's the benefit of knowing them old songs, you know.
I know you want to get la 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 la. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes.
Doesn't have point of view, knows not where he's going.
He had
But I remember them songs.
Isn't he a bit like you and me?
Let's go.
He has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again.
Oh, man.
So the riches, you read that early in the Apocrypha.
Right.
Riches are transferred.
Yes. Because
Gold doesn't disappear. Oh, we got to make up some new gold. No, whatever gold that they got it from thousands of years ago.
Yep.
They got some of the gold that Abraham had.
From the creation.
Yep.
You know, Genesis the 13th chapter, cattle and gold and silver. Well, they got that. They, like you said, they got that gold.
They ain't getting
They
it.
ain't
They
getting it.
getting
They
it, they
already
already
got
got
it.
it.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
the golden 7-branch menorah they stole, that the Romans stole. That's somewhere, and you know they
Yeah.
got that.
Yeah, for
You
real.
know all the gold. When you
And
go
the
back,
main thing when they besieged
The shekels, the
Jerusalem,
shekels.
they wanted to get the shekels, man. They wanted to get the treasures. You know?
yeah,
They got the half shekels from the treasury.
Yeah, the half shekel. Yeah.
That's what they raided, man. When the
Yep.
abomination that make him desolate enter into the holy place and
Yep.
feed you into the mountains. They said let's hit the treasuries, man.
yeah.
Plunder and pillage.
Yeah, I heard.
That's what you live for, you devils.
Yep.
Yeah, plunder, pillage.
I
Hey,
heard.
Jake steal a loaf of bread. Esau steal a country and resources.
Well, he stole the whole world.
How about
He
that?
stole the whole world.
You have the nerve to talk about us being thieves, and what do you steal? You steal countries.
Yeah.
You steal people's nationality.
And the
Minds.
whole world, among the smart people, not among you dummies, but the whole world, if you have half a brain, you can see it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua shall cast him out of his belly.
Yeah.
He shall suck the poison of asp. The viper's tongue shall slay him.
Go ahead.
He shall not see the rivers,
That's it.
the floods, the brooks of honey and butter.
Go ahead.
That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down.
Go ahead.
According to his substance shall the restitution be,
Bam, bam.
and he shall not rejoice therein.
Go ahead.
A lot, yeah.
Because he hath oppressed and have forsaken the poor.
We are the poor.
Forsaking the poor. Look at
We
this.
ain't got shit. Look
Yeah.
here, man.
Look at that woman sitting there.
Motherfucking shame, man.
Why is she? Because she's poor. If she was rich, you think if she was rich, she'd be sitting there suffering?
Proverbs 29:2. Go ahead.
It says, because he had
The
violently,
righteous are not in authority. You wouldn't have people out here in the cold, man.
Yeah, suffering, man.
And we don't have resources to help these people.
No.
If we had a big building where we can hold people, we would do that.
Yeah, we do it.
We ain't got it like that.
Nope.
Go ahead. Hey, what did the Lord say? The poor will always be among you.
Yeah.
He could have snapped his finger and made everybody rich.
Yeah.
But what did he say? The poor, look, we can help the poor. Well, the poor will always be among you. That's in the kingdom. You don't have poor people in the kingdom. Esau is going to be the poorest devil in the kingdom. He's going to be on the bottom.
In 1 Samuel, the 2nd chapter, it says he maketh poor and he maketh rich.
maketh poor
He
and
bringeth
maketh
down and he lifteth
That's
up.
right.
Lift it up, yeah.
He's like, I, the Lord, I do all
That's
this.
it.
Yep.
That's it. Go ahead.
because he had violently taken away an house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
Now you got to know the Hebrew because the word wicked is, what was the word there?
Aimal?
Oh,
Amal.
Amal, yeah.
Amal. It means laborer, the poor. Go ahead.
When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua shall cast a fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
While he is eating.
That's the fulfillment of the New World Order agenda. We're going to chip everybody, and then we're going to be masses forever. The culmination of that is when the chip comes.
Yep.
And then the chip going to have to come next year. I mean, it's already here, but I see it coming. You know, we'll wait and see. That the mark of the beast, they're going to really push it to the year 2000. This guy, what's this guy? The real life Iron Man, Elon Musk. He said that he that brain chip, Neuralink, I think it's called.
Yep.
He said he wants everybody, he wants most people to have it by the end of 2020. So I see him pushing that chip, man. And the Most High cannot take this place down unless the chip is made mandatory throughout the whole planet Earth.
Right.
Which means the majority of people on the planet Earth is going to take it. Not all people, obviously. Go ahead.
He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and cometh out of the body, yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his ball. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. It says, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and
Somebody
the
wanna
earth
call 311?
shall rise up against him.
Say that.
The increase of his house
I don't know if they're gonna
shall
come, 'cause they
depart,
don't give a fuck.
and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath.
She's heading towards Dunkin' Donuts.
This is a portion of a
You wanna
wicked
call?
man from Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and the heritage appointed unto him by Yahweh by Shem Yahushai.
That's it. Anyway, with that, we're gonna close up. On to the next one.
Shalom.